plan, oh grand and true, to bring back a custom just for you, a dowry's charm to rekindle the fire. In a world where romance might expire, he'd gather gold with wit and flair, pledging his heart beyond compare. For in the shimmer of that old dear gold lies a tale of love, both brave and bold. Bring back the dowries, let's make it clear, a token of love that's sincere.
Welcome in, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Looks like we got some of the folks already. Don DeMarco, pleasure to see you, and the Mr. Pitt here. I was gonna say the Avalanche. Saturdays are for the boys, absolutely. Nothing too complicated going on tonight, guys. We're just gonna hang out, watch some videos. Was simple yet profound. Okay.
To bring old traditions back around.
Okay.
For in the giving pure and sweet, two hearts would forever meet.
Bring back the dowry. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope everyone had a good week. I'll be frank, I don't got nothing crazy planned for tonight. We're just gonna watch some videos. This one I thought was pretty good when I watched it. And then I got this one. Why aren't actors ugly anymore? I kind of want to see Raymond react to that. And then we got this short over here. So we'll go watch that in no particular order. If anybody else wants to share anything in the Discord, tonight might be the night to do it. Probably won't stream for more than 3 hours max, just because I got a job tomorrow. So it'll be another 6-day work week for Shaw. Hey, I think I just seen Klaus in here. Looks like the party can get started. Good evening, everybody. Hey, Klaus, good to see you, man. I swear, man, I gotta think of something new for you guys. I was sitting here before the show and I was like, oh, you know, think of a new view. I want to start doing some other type of content for you guys too. We'll get there. We'll get there. Shout out to the 11 people that are here. Once this song ends, we'll start getting on with the show. Ain't no sense waiting. Ain't no sense in waiting.
Let's make it clear, a token of love that's sincere. Building bridges, heart.
Uh-oh, driving off alone. We'll save that for later. All right. We got the folks in here that matter, so we can get this started. Funny video I made, just added in the Discord. If you have a second and wanted to watch later, a Professor Galloway clip. I understand if you want to vet it first. You know what, man? I trust you. I trust you. Oh, that's cool, man. How come we haven't been sharing your YouTube channel in here? Guys, Don DeMarco has a YouTube channel. Look at this. I'm going to be the 6th person to subscribe. Heck yeah. What? Professor G keeps it real with women, not giving them soft, pretty answers, but the raw truth. That sounds like a big promise, but let's see. Okay. Isn't Scott Galloway the guy that, I don't know. He seems to just go back to being gynocentric, and he was raised by a single mom. It's my first post. Okay, well, damn. I mean, we gotta shill the heck out of your channel, man. I'll probably, if we get more people in here later, I'll show it to the folks again. So I'll keep this pulled up. This is a great icebreaker though. Let's watch this. Hey Timmy C, truly hope this channel blows up, brother. I love to see men winning in society. Thanks, Timmy, man. I appreciate that. You know, the truth is, man, in order for this to blow up, I gotta put a lot more work into it, and that's what I've been neglecting. But we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. So, not trying to make gigantic promises, but you know, it requires a lot more loving, basically. It's my first post. I don't post really. Got it. Oprah. Hey, Raymond, welcome in. You must have just stopped streaming. Man, Raymond, I wanted to say I really enjoyed your stream last week where you were reacting to that woman that was reacting to Dark Mode Dad. I don't know why. I was watching that stream and I was loving every second of it. Like, I just thought it was so funny and hilarious. And then the woman was kind of like extra odd. That was a great stream, man. Okay, let's see Don DeMarco's first video, man. Let's get the volume up. The volume. All right.
What did you want to say?
Shout out.
This has been such an enlightening conversation. I have so many thoughts that I want to add. And for a lot of my friends, we've just completely given up on dating. We're more focused on our family and our careers. And for me personally, I really love the version of myself that I've become. I put a lot of work into her. I'm really focused on my career and that emotional independence. So I thought when I started dating again, that would actually make dating easier. But I feel like it's getting so much harder to actually.
Man. You know, it's funny kind of hearing this. Oh God, I don't know. You know what? Let's just say
find someone who is willing to come to the table and meet me where I am.
Raymond, oh my God. I'm trying not to make any jokes. All right, but let's hear about her and what she needs the guys to come to the table with.
Is willing to come to the table and meet me where I am. So my question for Scott is...
Oh, God. Okay, Scott. Let's see what Scott's got to say.
Women continue
Can anybody guess what Scott's thinking? Yo. Alweenazy. Man, it's been a while since I saw you, man. I hope you're doing well. Shaw with the fire content. Thanks, brother. Man, I miss you, dude. All right, let's go. All right, Scott. Scott, we're looking for the honest truth.
Level up. Why do you think that we can't find as many men that are willing to meet us there?
Man, this woman is maybe a little inaccurate about where she is in terms of levels here.
I have enough respect for you not to PG-13 or whitewash my content. And just to be raw about this, would you have sex with you? What do you look like? Do you take your appearance seriously? You know, that's the only advice I can provide.
Do you take your... Man, that's actually kind of crazy. I didn't expect that from him because the first thing I thought quite literally was, you know, I know we don't really shill the self-improvement content over here, but I immediately saw her and I was like, I can think of one thing for you to work on. There's one thing that immediately comes to mind. Now, I mean, the truth is she's probably still, you know,
Scott Galloway.
she's got a different problem. She's getting it, but she can't get a guy that's getting on one knee.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, I hope he was responding to her because I would have loved to see the camera pan back over to her. Like it almost sounds like something he would say to men and not women, but I'm not gonna say I'm suspicious of the clip, but I'm a little suspicious because the Scott Galloway I know just doesn't seem to ever want to do that. Now I definitely gotta add your first comment. I gotta be the first person to comment on your first YouTube video, Don DeMarco. Man, I can think of something she can improve on to help with the dating. Okay, maybe that's kind of mean. I want to say something substantive. You know, that's not low-hanging fruit. You know what I'm saying? Oh my, okay, so it was the advice he gave to the man. I edited it to redirect it to her. And see, I knew it. I knew that was true. I was like, there's no way Scott Galloway would say that to her. Of course he's gonna be like, you know, and probably in that stream he probably just turned to the men And he was probably like, y'all need to step up. Y'all need to marry this beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? And you need to appreciate her and do date night every other Friday. Man. Watching that, I couldn't help but think Scott wouldn't dare say what we were all thinking. Heck yeah, man. Look at this, bro. We just got our first comment on Don DeMarco's YouTube channel. Okay, man. Heck yeah. Yo, shout out to Don DeMarco, man. Good for you for making a YouTube channel, bro. Good for you, man. I love to see it, bro. Okay, and then we'll move into Chisha Zed over here. No, that's what's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I've seen enough of him to know that he wouldn't dare. I see you really like this sound effect. Almost missed a stream. What up, shot? Yo, you know what? Before we get into Chisha Zed, Dan the Man actually shared this video in the Discord. So let's go and watch that. Let's go and watch that before we start up. Now that Dan is here. Step up, exactly the words he used. Oh my God. See, I didn't even watch it and I knew. It's funny too, because it's like, I couldn't help but think as I was watching that, like if her looks match equivalent guy came up there and said the exact same thing she said, and you had pictures of him doing all his stuff with his life, you know, he's rock climbing on the weekends and he's got a decent job and a business or whatever the hell it was that they showed for her. He would have torn that guy's butthole in two, man. He would have been like, well, are you doing this? Are you doing that? You know what I mean? You know what? You should try to, would you have sex with you? He would have totally gave him that. Gonna need a ladder to get on top. Oh my God. Oh man. Now we're just getting crazy over here. All right, let's see what this guy. Divorce destroys more family empires than bad business decisions. I mean,
Walmart.
All right, let's see what this guy has to say. Maybe I could use my new view here. Ah, the hell with it. It all works out.
Walmart is owned by Sam Walton's 5 kids. Those 5 kids have gone through 5 separate divorces.
All right, start one more time.
Walmart is owned by Sam Walton's 5 kids. Those 5 kids have gone through 5 separate divorces, but somehow they've managed not to give up any of the shares of Walmart. His oldest son, Rob, 2 divorces. Alice, also 2 divorces. John Walton, only 1 divorce. And Jim, fingers crossed, still married to the same woman. Usually when families go through this many divorces, the dynasty splinters. And that's because everybody knows that when you get divorced, you have to give your spouse or your ex-spouse a share of everything that you got. Normally, everything that you got includes shares in companies that the family founded. So the Vanderbilt family is a perfect example. They were
Yeah, I mean, see, this is why you don't get married to women that don't have one of these. You know what I'm saying?
Dowry, it's my right.
one of the wealthiest families of their time, but through numerous divorces in the family, their shares got diluted over and over again so that they no longer held a majority interest in anything. Sam didn't give the shares of Walmart to any of his kids. He put them in a trust and gave his children rights in that trust. And the terms of that trust are simple. No matter what happens, how many people you marry and how many times you get divorced, the shares don't leave the trust. And that trust, it's only managed by the Walton family. So if you're a founder and you have a family and you have kids, you have to understand that not every marriage is going to survive, that some marriages are going to break up, and that you can't allow your children's marriages to dissolve the company that you built.
That's an interesting perspective right there. I appreciated that and thought it was worth sharing. And it's not unlike older times. Like with this, it's a corporation. One person's at the head. Even in like feudal Europe, in times like that, sometimes the lord would, practice ultimogeniture, meaning only one child. Or no, excuse me, unigeniture. That was in a book I was reading about family and inheritance. And, the reason for that is if there was more than one kid, it would split up, the realm that he was, lord of. And this could cause huge issues politically. And that's just having multiple children and, splitting it up basically. Sometimes one kid might get the land, but the other kids would be given some big portion or like a big payment And it'd almost be similar to a dowry in that maybe these younger siblings, especially if they were sons, daughters also would get their dowry. They would get some portion, basically. And then, you know, it keeps the land from being segmented. And in this case, it could be Walmart. Like that Walmart owner could have said, I'm only going to choose one of you to have all these shares here for Walmart. The other, you know, the other ones, you'll get a payout, basically. And that's going to be your share. Not that anybody's entitled to anything. Oh my God, that just reminds me, bro. I saw this funny Reddit thread and I couldn't help but save it so I can share it with you guys. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Real quick. Oh man, I send myself so much stuff. Oh my God. Dang, how many freaking Reddit posts did I save? That's so funny. Man, where's it at? Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. My God. Okay. My bad. I got somebody texting me. Okay, cool. Okay, my bad. Okay, so oh God. Here is this Reddit post. Sorry guys, we're doing some Reddit tonight. All right, this one says, husband got $1 million in inheritance, but won't pay joint bills while I struggle. Oh, man. Oh, how sad is that? My husband got $1 million in inheritance, and he won't even help me pay my part of the bills. What a horrible man. All right, let's read it. My husband, who's 35, recently got an inheritance of about $1 million. Okay, shout out to him, man. Sounds like this man came from a decent family, right? He came from a family that wasn't chaotic. The parents probably didn't get divorced. They seemed to be, you know, about their stuff, and they saved and they did everything right to be able to pass on this kind of inheritance to someone. I mean, you know, he's coming from some. Shout out to these folks right here. All I'm saying. All right. Sometimes the proof is in the work. You know, I mean, the proof is in the fruits of the tree. We have always kept finances fully separate, with him paying mortgage and me paying utilities, etc. Okay, so this guy's already, you know, he's footing most of the bills, right? I mean, if he's paying the mortgage in 2026, this guy's paying about, you know, $2,500 a month, you know, assuming it's fairly normal. I, 36, so she's a year older, so she's got a year up on this guy. I, who's 36, am struggling because I'm an entrepreneur and my business is in the beginning stages and not making a ton of money yet. But I have gotten enough sales for proof of concept. Okay, so you're a bum, basically. So you haven't done nothing yet. You're just in your imagination. When you run your own biz, some months you make tons, other months you make nothing. In the past, whenever he is short for his bills and I have money, I cover his. This happened a few months ago where I was able to help him. I wish he'd put some real numbers there. Before this, I had never been in the position to help him. After this, it changed his tune a little about helping, or excuse me. Before this, I had never been in the position to help him. Okay. After this, it changed his tune a little about helping me, and the next time I had a slow month, he did step up to help me cover it. Okay, there's that word again, step up. The issue is that he is refusing to make things joint, as in bills. He's refusing to take on any of my bills. If I had $1 million and he had $500, I'd be covering his portion of the bills. I just can't understand why he won't. It's not like they are actually my bills, it's our bills. It's the gas, electric, streaming, etc. He says that if we touch the money for bills, it won't last. This guy's right. He probably wants to put his money in a high-yield savings account. It's like he's choosing our future security over our current struggle, and I'm having trouble wrapping my mind around that. I think in a marriage, you should be a team. If one partner needs something and the other can provide it, they should. I'm not asking for frivolous things. I'm not asking to add new bills. I'm just asking for a little breathing room so that I can focus on bringing more money in through my business. instead of focusing on the fact that I'm drowning and my husband is rowing the lifeboat away. Okay. Yo, username, what's cracking, man? I helped him. She said she paid $20 for part of one of the... Exactly. I'm glad you liked what I sent. Yeah, man. We'll go back and read the comments too. How about we do that? Real quick here. Let's just... This one just got this on my mind. Okay, so, I mean, listen, man. Thinking about this, like, if it was me, I think the deciding factor here is children, okay? If you got kids, then yes, man, you're going to have to pay the rest of those bills. Because, yes, the kids are going to need the lights on, you know, so they can read their books. I know they probably have iPads now with all this new technology in the schools, I guess. But, yeah, they still got to charge. You know what I'm saying? They're going to need that. They're going to need everything. So, in that case, you know, that's a tougher argument to say, well, you know. But if it's just two grown adults living together and they decided to do this joint system and he's paying the bulk of it anyways, which is the mortgage, he's probably just tired of her crap. And the minute he starts paying for everything for her, it's just going to establish the new normal where he's just always going to pay stuff. And it goes against their agreement. Here's some comments. What if he did not receive the inheritance? How would this situation be handled? I'd ask for help. He'd check his balance and decide if he felt like he had enough or not. If he did, he'd probably help, but add it to his mental list for later, or he'd say he doesn't, and I'd just scrape it together by selling stuff. So you have a roommate, not a spouse. This, if I'm doing 50-50 with the man, we are roommates. I'm not about to struggle while my partner is comfortable and vice versa. My ex was a wealthy man who decided to live at his level and me at a lesser level. Notice I said ex. Too much resentment to last. Man, this almost sounds like it would be hilarious. You know what I mean? This is her doing it to herself. He shared everything and paid for everything while we dated. My girlfriend says this whenever I refuse to give her a life free from work chore bills where I do everything for her and she just has to exist. Girlfriend, so you're in a relationship you can end any time without legal consequence. Okay, then someone is like, I wonder if he is afraid to commingle funds. That could be it too, because the minute he starts paying her bills, then it's like, well, I guess your inheritance is joint community property since you've been using it for joint community problems. Plus, he could easily use only the interest his money should be making for him and never touch the principal. I would strongly suggest you get marriage and financial counseling immediately and do extremely thorough research before engaging any financial advisors to counsel you. And I would strongly suggest only... All right, man, whatever. Okay, so those are some comments right there. Having had my own entrepreneurial adventures, I've learned that having your own business requires a nest egg so you can pay bills while you build your empire. It's 5 years to good profits generally. Electric bills that can be paid indicate a problem with the business plan. You know what I'm wondering? If her business was taking off and suddenly her business was $1 million business and she's making all this money now, it's hella tight. You know what I'm saying? She's got all these sales coming in. She had to buy a forklift now because now she's, you know, removing pallets from the back of the 18-wheeler that had to back up to the warehouse. Shit's hella good. You know what I mean? Sorry to cuss. And the guy said, hey, I can't afford the mortgage this month. Would she be like, would she start, you know, covering the mortgage and doing all this? Or would she be like, well, you need to keep paying the mortgage because that's what you said you were going to do. Okay, so I ended up commenting on this because I just felt the need to. I couldn't not do it. Let me just find the comment. It's way at the bottom. If he commingles, it becomes half hers. That's what somebody else said. Your husband is right. Continue as you have, and that money will be there for your retirement. Gas this month, electricity next month. Before you know it, you'll be going on vacations. Damn, where the hell's my comment? Did they get rid of it? This man does not love you. That was my first thought. Yeah. Dang, my comment's way... Oh, crap. Okay, here's my comment. I just asked questions, okay? That's all I said. I said, what is the status of your inheritance? Are you expecting anything from your parents? Did you get it already? And if so, what is the value? Also, do you have children together? See, that's the big question for me. Because if they have kids together, then the calculus changes. It's like, okay, well, sorry, you're going to have to be the one that pays the bills because she can't. You know, unfortunately, she's whack at whatever the hell she decides to do. And you got kids in the house and, you know, you got to keep the electricity on for them little tykes. And she actually did reply to me. She did reply. She was like, I will not be getting any inheritances from anyone on my side of the family. We do not have children. Okay, that answers that. So they don't have, so these are two adults living together. He will be getting another inheritance of unknown amount when his grandma passes. Oh my God. So, okay, what do we learn from this? We learned that this guy comes from a good family. This guy comes from a family that isn't a bunch of bums. They worked hard, they saved. There's coherence in the family. They embody the values of a family that most people purport they have, but, you know, actually don't. And the proof is in the fruits of that. Okay. She, on the other hand, does not, you know, come from a family with as much I don't want to say comes from a bad family, but she doesn't come from a family that's as, you know, well put together as the husband's family. Okay. She's got no inheritance. So you know what that means, right? Because we know what an inheritance is for women.
I have no dowry. If anything, I have a negative dowry.
So that's her, right? She's got no money. This guy has gotten already $1 million and grandma's about to break him off something, which might even be more than $1 million for all we know. And this guy decided to marry this bum of a woman instead of asking this question.
Dowry, it's my right.
And so here it is right here. And they don't have kids. So if they don't have kids, she doesn't have an excuse. In my opinion, she has to actually pay. She should at least be held to the standard. She's a 36-year-old woman and she can't afford utilities and the electric bill. What a bum. Yo, Jack Napier, I see you in here, man. Radit spotted. Oh yeah, man. Even though he was only in there for like 2 episodes, he was like one of my favorite characters. Dang, I can't get it to focus. I got this from Las Vegas, from a retro store over there. Good spot, man. Good spot. Great to have you in here. By the way, man, I watched some of your Rule Zero episode with Nuke, man. Good stuff, guys. I saw like the last 2 of them. So in other words, she deserves nothing. Yes, exactly. She deserves 0. F out of here. If they are married, isn't his inheritance also hers? If they divorce, is she entitled to half of it? So inheritance in pretty much most places is one of the things actually that if you're married, it does not automatically become commingled. Now, the minute you take your inheritance and you put it in a joint account, then yes, it does become half hers. So that is a bad thing. If you keep your inheritance separate, that's separate property from outside of the marriage, which is actually like, I love that they actually do that. And that's actually one of the things that just makes freaking sense, man. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't know that the minute you put it in a joint account, or put it in some type of community, you know, property, that if they divorce you, yes, it will become half hers. So that's a great question, man. I would definitely double check the laws in your jurisdiction. But for the most part in the US, it's separate property. So that's a good thing. Honestly, man, this guy should just divorce this woman. Now, I know that's easy to say, and I don't want to be a proponent of people getting divorced here, but it's from how this is sounding, it's only going to get worse. Oh, man. She needs to pull her own weight. Absolutely. I hope she's not one of these. Strong, independent woman until the bills are due. Exactly. Man, I wish I would have asked her what business she's into. Like what is the industry you're doing? Appreciate it, man. Thank you. No worries, man. It's great to see you guys doing your stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Did you know that? Did not know that. Thanks, Shaw. Yeah, no, that's important, man. That's really important. She can inherit these nuts. What dowry? It's my right. Exactly.
Your dowry, it's my right.
This is what the people are forgetting, man. This is what the people are forgetting. Okay. I do have another one. I do got another one. I don't know what this, I don't know why I saved this one, man, but for some reason, I don't know if this is like just like a woman thing. Like, okay, you know what? I'm going to put a poll up real quick and I'm going to say, do you think a man would do this? Okay. And I'm just going to leave it at yes or no. And I'm just going to read this. I saved it, so I might as well share it. My mom is giving her house to charity when she dies. So this woman's 30 years old and her mom is 68. So my mom owns her own house. Okay, so I don't hear nothing about dad. This must be a divorced family or, you know, the kid was born out of wedlock. No talk of dad. I mean, we're one sentence in. I don't know if we're going to hear about dad later, but we probably ain't going to hear about dad later. Recently, she said she is giving her house to charity when she dies. The convo came up because I asked her if she's written her will with an advisor yet. She hasn't. This is probably her nice way to seem like she's not clawing at her property. I'm just concerned for you, Mom. There's a lot of good advisors out there. I couldn't tell if she was joking or not. I was totally surprised when she told me and just responded calmly with, oh, okay, it's your decision. Ultimately, I will accept whatever decision she decides. I mean, that's what you got to do. But I wish she would recognize that my life could be greatly improved with financial support from that inheritance. Yeah, I mean, it would definitely help her with this problem.
I have no dowry. If anything, I have a negative dowry.
Yo, shout out Homefront Forge. Great to see you in here. Guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Homefront Forge. And he was on Raymond's live stream actually a couple days ago. The father-son duo. I love to see it. And I did rewatch that. And I saw the part where you mentioned when we did the stream together and you were talking about the knuckles and how you can see like testosterone from that. I was like, man, I wish I would have remembered you saying that, but that brought back all those fun memories. Okay. Ultimately, I will accept whatever decision she decides, but I wish she would recognize that my life could be greatly improved with financial support from that inheritance. Growing up, we were always scraping by to make ends meet, and from a young age, I learned not to ask for much because I could tell we didn't have the means for more than the essential things. I'm able to support myself at this point in life, but I can't afford things I really want, like a house or have a child. I understand there are other people less fortunate than me, but I find it frustrating that my mom would give all her things to charity instead of her 2 daughters. Growing up, she was married to my dad, who was an emotionally immature alcoholic. Okay, yeah, see, she fell for it. She fell for it. The mom turned the daughters against the dad. You know what I'm saying? And now they're at the end of the line here. They've reached the last train station, and she doesn't like where it is. You know what I'm saying? She does not like where it is. She was the enabler who stayed in that marriage until he left to be with the new woman. It's frustrating, and I just want to vent about it and be heard. Has anyone else experienced something similar? Thanks for reading. Okay, so yeah, we got a whole sad story. I'm sure she's telling it to some guy she's dating. And he's gonna, you know, maybe come in and be the hero. But yeah, I don't know. You know, maybe the mom's just joshing her and just saying that, you know what I mean? And maybe she's really gonna give it to him. Who the hell knows? Another thing I find is that, you know, when inheritance comes up, inheritance is a time where you really find out how people felt about you. You know what I'm saying? And it can be a doubly sad thing, like not only losing a loved one, but also finding out that they thought they thought you were this. They were like, you know what, man? Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to think about, man. You know, work on your relationships. You know what I'm saying? So real quick on the poll, we got a 50-50 no. Oh, 56% say no. Okay, let me end that poll real quick. Let me end that poll. So 56% said no, they don't think a man would do that. 44% say yes. Okay, Shaw, hit those likes. Yes, please, guys, if you're watching, please hit that like button. That like button helps me. Certainly helps me. Klaus says, under our family law, and this is in Germany, shout out to Germany, the inheritance would be considered common property. Oh, dang. Okay, see, this is even more reason to have the gold pill dowry mindset. See, this is where you really got to ask this question.
Which one of these broads has the richest father?
Yeah.
Or this.
What's the dowry situation?
Exactly.
Let's get down to brass tacks here.
So yeah, super important, Klaus. Yeah, that's I'm glad you're pointing that out for anybody who's from Germany. Shout out to the folks from Germany. Okay, Shaw, hit those likes. Thank you again, home front. You know what? We are gonna read some of these comments here. Ah, shucks. It'll be okay, Shaw. Don't cry. I know that one. I almost actually did cry. This is like a performance Reddit, but performed. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Emotional damage. Yeah, that is some emotional damage. Let's see the comments. I didn't actually comment on this one. Well, if she dies with no will, you and your sister would inherit the house by law, regardless of what she verbally tells you. Assuming mother is legally divorced from father and father's name is not on the title deed to the house. Keep your mouth shut. Don't bring it up again. Let her forget about this. Then if she dies, like, look at the level of scheming these people come up with, man. People are straight up vipers out there, man. Even when it's kids and their parents, dude. This is sad, dog. Keep your mouth shut. Don't bring it up again. Let her forget about this. Then if she dies with no will in place, you and your sibling will inherit. Interesting that someone who barely scraped by now has a fully paid off house and wants to donate it to charity. I'm skeptical that this is actually the case. It's far more likely that she is spending the equity through a reverse mortgage that will chew through the value. Mom might just be letting OP know not to count on inheritance without telling her why. That could be it. She could be completely mistaken. But the mom could be upside down in that mortgage and she just doesn't know. So yeah, fair play to that. The mom is 68. She might have 20 years left. What's she going to do? Wait for the inheritance or accelerate it? Exactly. That's a good point, man. Yeah, 68 is not that old. She should get her own life in order and buy her own house. Exactly. Like, let's talk about that, you know? People are evil, dude. It is true. Guess their politics. I know the common phrase is no one is entitled to an inheritance or it's their money, but I always find it so odd when parents choose to leave assets to charities over their children. Outside of some huge estrangement, it makes no sense to me why parents would actively choose to not help their children, especially once they have passed and no use for the money assets anymore. Yeah, I mean, there could be something else here. Like, this could be another way of mom saying she's not happy with the daughter's choices. So, you know, it could be that. Yes, this sums it up well. It's definitely an odd decision on her part. I think it's a window into her psyche and similar to why she enabled an alcoholic partner. She has a caretaking complex and never learned healthy boundaries or how to take care of her well-being. All right, well, you know, funny story there, guys. I don't know if it's funny, but, you know, we are, it's something important to keep in mind about how all this stuff works, you know. I didn't read the comments on that Walmart one. Let's just see what the people said real quick, just to honor Dan the Man who shared this with us. Thank you, Dan the Man. The family trust setup is a really wise decision. Basically, a prenup that never needs the other side to sign. Great planning. I think the fact that divorce lets your ex-spouse take half of what you own is insane. Walton father has great foresight. That's why trust account is made, to protect the family assets. Maybe we need to do away with the concept of shared assets as the default. Every man should have a family trust. I think those divorces happen with their partner when their partner realized they weren't going to get anything. Being rich and married are the most dangerous decisions you can make ever. Well, you know, you want to consider this.
Your dowry, it's my right.
Okay, so that's the fun stuff, man. That was our brain rot for the day. I found this Chisha Zed video, and, you know, I don't know what it was. Something about it I just thought was interesting. And while the ladies are kind of talking, so basically it's like women that have these sons and they're watching the manosphere, apparently. And the mothers are super worried, and, you know, it's turning the kids bad, apparently, and she doesn't know what to do. There really isn't much talk of the father. or the dad. I kind of have this feeling like, you know, I think sons, like boys especially, like if they're growing up, you know, and it's in a single mom household or there's no male father figure around, that word father figure is almost the gaslight too. Like, you know what the hell with father figure? And the actual biological father around, the actual father. Father figure is almost like, you know, opening the door to we don't got to stay together and, you know, let's, well, you're just not a good father figure. That's why I had to leave you to marry somebody else. They make a better father figure for our son. And it's just, you know, more excuses here and there. But I think in every boy, like there comes a time where they're going to hit, you know, puberty or whatever the hell. And they're just going to be like, something doesn't feel right. And their instincts are going to come out. And all that cute stuff that whatever the heck the mom has been trying to teach them how to be, you know, the Scott Galloway man or whatever the hell, is finally just going to not, like, it's going to fall apart and she's not going to know how to control this. And this is an important time in a young man's life where it's like, there's a lot of raw potential energy there and they need some type of guidance, you know, to get them, keep them on the right track before it just gets all bad. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, no surprise there that's what they're dealing with. So this has different TikToks that kind of show women dealing with that. So let me just catch up with the chat real quick and then we'll get in there. Damn, where I leave off. I hate it when people are going after the inheritance so hard. I hope my mother will live as long as possible. I would forfeit this house for having her another 10 years. Exactly, man. Exactly. That's really 100% it. Yeah, you know, and it's like that woman in there is 30 years old. And it's like, that means that like she wasn't taking her earlier years seriously in terms of she's self-admitted she doesn't have any kids. So it's literally just her. It's like, you don't have to take care of anybody else. Sounds like the mom's not even asking her to take care of her. So it's like, well, you know, you can figure out like your situation. She can figure out a situation to get in a better place to where she doesn't have to be riding on this. So, you know, that's an issue. Dowry is your right to sanity. Absolutely. I don't know why. I just thought of Starship Troopers when you said that. I could almost see like a Starship Trooper style advertisement for that. These people don't really love their own family. So sad. It is. Stepdaddy beta bucks language. Exactly. Exactly. Father figure. I want my children to have a good father figure. What up, gents? Hopefully everybody had a good week. Yeah, thank you. The Happy Bachelor joins us again, man. Shout out to you. I hope we all had a good week over here. I had a good week. I had a busy week. I actually, you know, I got to do some work tomorrow too on Sunday. I'm not trying to, you know, keep mentioning that like I'm cool or something, but you know, it's still a good week. It's good to have things to do. You know, I climbed up on a tree today and I was sawing some branches down and I was like, man, this is great. You know, I'm up here, I'm sawing some branches. I'm trying to figure out how this is going to fall. I didn't do too many, so I'm not an expert at that, but it needed some trimming. Father figure. Yeah, exactly. How about we get another mother figure? All right. My 15-year-old son hates women. Single mom blames Redpill content. All right, let's move in. Let's move in here.
I fear I'm raising an incel Redpill woman hater man.
Gosh, imagine describing your son that way.
The coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Oh my God.
This one is so serious and so fierce. Like, I'm not saying the rest of them are not serious and fierce.
I mean, listen, man, if I was a kid, if I was an 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid and I'm, you know, I'm coming into it and I'm starting, you know, I'm liking guy things and I got to ride to school every day in the backseat of this car with Hello Kitty, everything in there. You know what I'm saying? You're getting out of the car. You can't even see it. Hold on a second. You can't see it because I'm in the way. Let me help y'all out real quick. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain point where not like feminine in a good way, but just like hyper feminine energy is just rubbed in your face to like a crazy degree that you lose your mind. Like imagine being 15 years old, trying to find your way through life. And you're just like, what the hell? What the hell is going on here? And you know, I don't know if she's going to mention dad, but let's see if she mentions dad.
Guys, damn me, but I saw that.
Probably she's gonna be like, oh, he watches it when he goes to his dad's house.
And I was like, man.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
This one is so serious and so fierce. Like, I'm not saying the rest of them are not serious and fierce that you guys DM me, but
So serious and fierce. Dang, yeah, dude. I mean, the signs are there, man. Son's life is cooked. Yeah, imagine growing up in that house. Your mom's just like, wow, you're so fierce. We gotta get serious and fierce. A Clockwork Orange level program. Exactly. I remember that movie, man. That was Stanley. That's where they had like the guy's eyes. They're just open and they're just force feeding them the propaganda. To be fair, I can see a son of a single mom hating single moms because he grew up seeing the dysfunction and problems of a single mom firsthand. Oh yeah, and it can get really bad, man. I mean, you know, he probably just had to hear it from her like all day, you know, about how bad his dad was and about how bad men are, and you know, he needs to grow up to be a good man. He needs to grow up to be a good man. Wait, is this Saint in Sin? No, this is Chisha Zed. This is Chisha Zed. Shout out to Chisha Zed. Thank you, Chisha Zed, for making this video so I could react to it. I appreciate that. Chisha Zed. He reacts to It's Complicated videos sometimes. The Droogs, yo, Orem, shout out. All right, so now that we've set the scene, let's see what else is going on.
and I was like, this mommy DM me. She has a 15-year-old boy. I think she's
Okay, so she doesn't have a kid. A mom DM'd her. Okay, so she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. All right. I would have lost my damn mind if the kid had to grow up in there.
30, because she said she was a really young mom. And she went through his stuff, his iPad, his phone, his PS5, I think. She went through like his chat logs. I don't know if you could do that, but she went through his gaming stuff.
Right.
Or like his Discord chat.
That makes me feel a lot better that it's not her. Because, yeah, this right here, man, I could see why.
Because he started to act really weird towards her. Like, he was talking back more. He called her a last week. And he had gotten in trouble at school because he was calling girls, like, and stuff. Mind you, 15, you can't be at 15. I mean, shit, maybe you can be on. But
isn't it so weird that every time you see one of these women complaining about how they're scared for
where's the dad? Where's the dad? Where is dad?
Their sons. It's always a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always external blame that's being projected. It's the red pill guys. It's not you, right, who's raising up the child. It's the red pill guys. Why haven't you found a man in that home to raise that child up properly?
you can't, you're a kid. And she said when she went through all his stuff, all of his watch history was like all this red pill content, very Kevin Samuels-esque, very Andrew.
Man, okay, Andrew
Tate-esque.
All right.
He knows that.
And you know, and of course, you know, we do recognize that, yes, those are the kind of like surface level people who are in the manosphere that maybe not so much Kevin Samuels, but Andrew Tate, who's disavowed the red pill. I mean, I think not even once, but twice, and said he was never red pill. They sort of prop that up as the boogeyman, so to speak. You know what I mean? So this is common parlance.
This comes from, and probably found out about this content from being at his dad's house. She says that his dad, machista, mujeriego, like hella cheated on her, put hands and feet.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Sounds like the kid should be living with dad.
Yeah,
and I'm sure it is. You know what I mean? Like, here comes the sad story. And the husband used to do this to me, and now the kid's changing, and he's corrupting the kid. It sounds like a whole lot of projection to me. You know, that sounds like a whole lot of projection. This is one hell of a sad story right
really
here.
Bad man. So she knows that like when he goes over there, there's like, she's probably hearing the same stuff that like her ex would say.
Probably. That word's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
And he's absorbing it. He says he uses every slur under the book. But she feels like shocked.
I can see it already, man. So mom's basically getting ready to go back to custody court, probably, and come up with the whole story here.
Like, I didn't raise him.
I want to hear the dad side of this.
And she feels half guilty because she says she works a lot. I mean, obviously you have a 15-year-old son. You're so young. Like, you need to work. So she says she works a lot. So she feels like she's not doing her part of like managing his internet access more and managing what he's looking at. And also the dad being a problem. Like, that's a whole other layer on top of it.
And you know, the other part of this too, like, let's say dad really is this horrible gangster. At a certain point, women got to start taking accountability for the choices they make. You know what I mean? When men get into some crap like this and they end up with Jezebel and then she leaves and he's paying child support and he's crying about it. You know what people say to that guy? Be like, well, I mean, you know, you should have did it, man. Hell, people at the child support agency will say that. They will be like, you know, well, you know, so, you know, when it comes to women, though, on the other end of the spectrum, it's not that, you know, when that happens, you know, we create a gigantic welfare system in order to help solve this issue.
She's afraid of what he will become and what he is becoming. And she's afraid that she can't do anything to stop it because she's tried to talk to him. That
ain't gonna, see, that ain't gonna work. I mean, he needs his father in his life more. I really want to hear his side of it. Shout out to the machistas out there. Women secretly crave it. Exactly. See, that's where the accountability choice comes in. Because she was feeling it in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? She was like, this is tight. Watching this made me realize we just need to double the rent of single moms and cut the rent of single dads by half. Corrective welfare. Yep.
Or that she's spreading like feminist misinformation and like the feminist agenda, which is like,
it's crazy how like this is like this whole thing sounds like it could just be embellished out of control. You know what I mean? Somebody will hear this, man, and they will make a whole Netflix documentary about it.
you should all, first of all, you should all be feminists, whether you're a boy or girl, non-binary. You should.
See, non-binary. You should all be feminist. Listen, I'm all for equal opportunity for everybody, including women, if that's what feminism means. But when you have videos, and your son definitely sees his videos, and he's online seeing women say something, and seeing women say things like, we need to eradicate 90% of men from the planet. We hate men so much. Young men are seeing this. Do you think that they're going to be encouraged to support and embrace those feminists? He needs a man in that household to check him. Until then, there's nothing she can do. It's only going to get worse.
It's only going to get worse. Yeah, especially if she's trying to raise him as, you know, a feminist and anything else is a incel. And this kid, I don't know, there's only like, if you're a growing boy, I think all of us remember what it was like to be that age. There's a certain, you know, fire that comes with that. And after a while, I mean, it's not even just that. And then at the school, you know what I mean? There's he's growing up in a certain kind of culture. Every single movie he watches just sucks. You know what I mean? It's just like, here's the feminine heroine, and then she beats up all the tough soldier bad guys. And it's just like, you're telling the kid this is right, but something in his instincts are like, something is off here. And he's just like, something doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And he's grown up in this broken family. And then he's probably seeing things about his mom, probably caught his mom in a couple lies. You know what I mean? Maybe seeing his mom, like there's all kinds of stuff that's not being said here that he's probably noticing. This young, you know, this teenager is starting to notice stuff basically. And he's just like, what the hell? The hell is going on here? Man, I'm telling you, man, that kid, hold on, where's my rock sound effect? That kid's over here doing this.
Shut your bitch ass up.
He's like, hey.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Oh, man. All right. How dare you misgender me as compliant and reasonable? 15 years old and based. He knows what's up. It took me a lot longer. Guy is smart. Yeah, I mean, they get it.
Women to be equal to men. Like, you should want everybody to
see, a complete straw man. You should just want, you know, men and women to be equal. It's like, you know, that's not what we're talking about. You know that men get crapped on all the time nowadays.
Right? I think that's just humane. And when she told me this, I was like, oh my.
And the fact that, like, this is her friend, I can also see why this 15-year-old kid's losing his dang mind. Because, you know, she comes over, spews all her crap. The mom agrees with it. This kid just watching all this. He probably met like, you know, 10 other boyfriends already coming in and out of the house. He's just like, he's coming to a slow realization. He's just like, damn, my mama is a circus clown. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say a meaner word, but yeah, basically that. And he's just like, damn, he's just like, this is what they did to him.
They played us like a damn fiddle.
And he's not happy with that, you know?
God, I'm not saying hit your kid, but I could not be a parent because I would. She says that when she was talking to him, he was telling her all of this, and then
okay, now who's machista? You know what I'm saying?
He was like, you know what? That's why dad cheated on you. That's why dad hit you. You deserve to be hit.
Man, shout out to that kid. Yup. That's probably why it hurt so much, because whatever that kid said, she knew it was right, and she couldn't take it no more. She couldn't take it no more. She went and Stewie cried her way out of that. I don't even know if I still have that sound effect, but that's what the hell happened there. And now she's just like, oh my God.
Women like you deserve to be hit. You deserve to be put in your place. That's why women like you like get treated that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't trust that at all. See, now this is where the extra starts coming in. Yeah, I'm sure he said all that. I don't know. I'm starting to feel like a certain Democratic organization may have paid for this video.
Way. You deserve to be treated that way.
So you think that a young boy who's willing to be that disrespectful and cross the line, because over on this channel, we definitely do not believe in putting hands on women.
Absolutely not. But you know what I mean? That's one of the dog whistles that they'll say to immediately put you on the defensive. What they will do is just come out from the gate and be like, you hate women, and then expect the rest of the conversation to be you defending yourself to prove that you don't hate women. You know what I mean? So it's like it's already starting from this heinous accusation. And that's what this is.
Walk away from. And
we're all supposed to believe this woman's story.
Right? Which is what it sounds like. Here's out of control. You think you would have done anything to stop that? You as a lady? It gets to a point where a young man is just out of control. He's just out of control.
That woman's capping,
hands
dude.
On him won't work.
Hell
then
yeah.
He needs to leave that household. The stats don't lie. These are the type of young men that single mother households produce. Men who believe that it's okay to get highly emotional. It's okay to put your hands on women. This is the truth. Quick shout out to the sponsor of this channel.
FathersHaveRights.com. This is a great website. I mean, I haven't been there or anything like that, but it helps people with prenups and stuff like that. So shout out to FathersHaveRights.com. Thank you, Chisha Zed, for this video to react to.
List for the custody prep guide for men.
Excuse me? Have you ever slept on asphalt outside in the freezing cold, you piece of garbage? I mean, of course, Grace, because he's 15, but also we cannot coddle little boys. That's what I told her. I was like, you cannot coddle your...
I mean, like, how come there's no questions? Like, why don't you ask, like, dang, why is he turning to this? You know, like, what is it that he's missing that can help him? You know, what is it that he needs that's missing that could put some order back into his life? Or what is it that's like, why is it off kilter? Why doesn't it make sense to me? Why doesn't it make sense to him? But instead all we get is the dad was just such a bad guy and then this and that and all these stories and that's why this and that. And we're just victims over here. We're just victims and now we're going to continue to be victims. I bet you that same woman has a sad story about her father. And my father was horrible too. And he used to do all these things. And that's why I grew up with all this trauma. And then my husband was really bad too. And then his dad. And then this person was bad. And then everybody was bad. and now my son is bad. Everybody's bad. I'm just a big victim. See?
Little boy. You have to like be on him. Imagine having your seed talk to you like that.
Your seed.
Kidding? The amount, first of all, going in labor is literally a life or death situation. Like,
thank God we live in, you know, a first world country with amazing medical equipment and all kinds of things that they can see this stuff coming from a mile away. So, you know, they can really help you out.
For you to put your life on the line to parir this kid and for him to talk to you like that, I'm so sorry.
I mean, at a certain point, you gotta ask, like, okay, you know, if the mother role deserves that much respect and they're not getting it, there must have been something that happened there to create this disconnect. There's got to be some accountability.
And I told her, I don't have kids. I don't plan on ever having kids. So I feel like my advice isn't good because I just can't even imagine being in this situation. What I told her was like, I don't know if there's like resources that you could look for like a counselor, a therapist to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to have to get some communication.
These things, because all that anger he has for women, because that's what she said. She's like, he's angry, like veins popping out when he talks about it. Like,
You know, and listen, I don't know if it's the content or not, but like, I think they're putting the cart before the horse. The kid sees something is wrong, and then he hears the content, and it makes a lot of sense to him. You know what I mean? And then he's just like, oh, they've been playing my ass.
They played us like a damn fiddle!
And then he's just like, oh, wait, hold on one second. Then he's just like,
shut your bitch ass up!
There's something that happened before that made him say, okay, you know what? This content really speaks to me. What is that before thing? You know what I mean? But okay, fine. I guess we're all armchair therapists now. Have to be on him. Yikes. Exactly. It's a very good making impression. Thank you. Anger for women.
Angry. That can lead to so much stuff. Like, we've seen the show Adolescence on Netflix.
Oh my God. She mentioned the Netflix documentary. There it is. Yeah, okay, so we know what's going on here. That this woman watched the Netflix documentary and she just copied and pasted all the stuff she saw on Netflix. You know this lady. You know this lady does not, pay too much attention to somebody else's kids. You know what I mean? This lady's way too, doesn't want to have her own, doesn't want to do anything. She's going to put all this energy into somebody else's child? Come on.
The amount of times that, like,
A fake show. None of those stories were real.
a young boy does something to a girl out of like anger because she's not like letting up to his advances, or just anger about anything, is very, very dangerous. And we need to protect little boys as well as little girls. We need to protect them. And to me, part of protecting little boys is protecting them from consuming that kind of content. 15, you're a little boy, you're a baby. You shouldn't even be thinking about women.
We have a woman here who does not have kids, does not plan on having any kids, giving advice. Other chicks are asking her for
in
advice.
that kind of way. Like, if anything, maybe there should be like little crushes and you get excited about girls. If you're like,
oh, it's like, I don't hear what she was saying.
Baby, you should be consuming that kind of content. 15, me, part of protecting little boys is protecting them from consuming that kind of content. 15, you're a little boy, you're a baby. You shouldn't even be.
I mean, listen, it's like you can protect them from the content, but the longer that you protect them from it, the first time they get a whiff of it, they're going to fall deep into it, especially depending on how, whatever their trajectory for the life is. The only thing that can truly protect him from this content is, if he's with his dad spending time with him and he feels good about himself. He feels confident about himself, because he takes pride in where he comes from and who he is and has that relationship with his father, not mom's boyfriend, not mom's father figure boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? But then if he comes across content that's truly hateful, he's going to be like, this doesn't really jibe with me. But he doesn't have anything right now, instead of people that are just trying to take things away from him or put him in some woman box and some, whatever the heck it happens to be box. And it ain't working. It ain't working.
Thinking about women.
We have a woman here who does not have kids, does not plan on having any kids, giving advice. Other chicks are asking her for
in
advice.
that kind of way. Like, if anything, maybe there should be like little crushes and you get excited about girls. If you're like straight, you get excited about girls, or if you're gay, you get excited about little boys and stuff, but not angry, like, or worried about like playing soccer at lunch. I don't know, not anger. My advice at the end of the day was just like counseling, therapy, try to like patrol his access. I know he might like hate you and resent you for it, but
mom's not going to be able to do that, man. She's out here working, can barely afford the bills because, she's a single mother household. She can't sit here and police this kid's access. I mean, it's not going to happen. It just ain't going to happen.
Are his parent, and you do have the right to like restrict some things from his phone. Like, I don't think that makes you a bad mom if you're strict about what.
All right, let's read a few of these comments, what the people have to say. Top commenter says it's because you give him unlimited internet access. Somebody else here says it's the damn phone. No, it's not. It's not the damn phone. It's the damn household.
Yeah,
it's how
it's
he
the household
been raised up. Now, can internet make things worse? Yes. When it's wrongfully used, does it need to be monitored? Yes. I also believe that internet needs to be monitored, but you can't just put the blame on everyone else but yourself as a parent.
One thing. Okay, there's a second one. Real quick, I'm just going to catch up on chat before we hear the second one here. You want anger, lady? I'll show you anger. Is that Lizard Wiz chick? No, I think that's you mean the girl in the car? No. It looked like someone else. The show Adolescence was a complete psyop. Absolutely it was. You know, that was complete manufactured. That was some Clockwork Orange level stuff. Does she know that the documentary didn't work that well? The UK has Amelie now, and they can't do anything about it. I'm not sure what that one is, but yeah, I mean, from the beginning, I think most guys just know, like, yeah, that's every guy in the world except Scott Galloway would know that documentary isn't going to work. He probably had a little crush and then got crushed himself. Yeah, he's probably going through it, man. He probably needs a little bit of Dontavius. Where's my Dontavius?
There was a.
Oh wait, hold on.
You gotta stay gaming, bruh. Don't focus on no girl. Just stay gaming.
They should be talking about what women are watching, not men. Exactly. That content just happens to be the inevitable backlash against what came before. Women really ought to fix themselves before making those demands of men. Thank you for that. That's what I'm saying, psyop. This woman has never experienced an angry man. Look up Pathways and Amelie. Lots of videos and memes. I'll have to check that out. Yo, let me just do a cursory Google search just because I'm curious about that. Pathways and Amelie. What the hell? Pathways and Amelia? UK politics. Okay, well. Oh, okay. I think I've seen this. There's something about this. Like, she's like somebody from the right. I'll have to. It's like, is she like a UK nationalist or something like that? I'll have to look into it more deeply. I don't want to read, but I think I did see some of that on Twitter. I am interested. I do want to learn more about it. Klaus, if you want to break it down in the chat a little bit more, that would be helpful. No pressure, though. Amelia, you've got to do a deep dive into Amelia. Okay, I will. Damn. Yeah, gosh, I wish there was like a know your meme. Okay. All right, hell, I mean, know your meme can't be that bad. What is Pathways and who is Amelia? Okay, anti-immigration goth girl. Hey, man, no, Raymond doesn't like goth girls. He likes manic pixie girls. I think actually that's Raymond's cup of tea. Social media users have found yet another goth girl to obsess over, but this one is just a little more problematic. Her name is Amelia, and she's an antagonist in the educational UK government-funded anti-extremist video game. Oh, okay. I think I know what this is now. So the UK government made a villain, and everybody was like, "Oh, the villain's hella tight. Like, we like the villain." So they ended up actually like doing the opposite of what they were trying to do, because now they just create a character that everybody thought's based, I guess. That's funny. So why have far-right communities on social media decided to embrace Amelia as a symbol of anti-immigration? Here's what you need to know. Oh, so is this the video with her? Okay, let me just click on it real quick to open it. Oh, damn it. It's just photos. Okay, if that's this looks like a HR video that's hella funny. Somebody else in the class tells Charlie that this is proof that immigrants are coming to the UK and taking her jobs. Oh, and it's Amelia. Oh. Pathways is an educational visual novel and learning experience created by the UK media company Shout Out UK with funding from the UK government's prevention program. Run by the Home Office. Wow. Yeah, I mean, like this astroturfing sort of gaslighting propaganda stuff, it doesn't work, man. It's like, people aren't stupid. Listen, okay, people are only stupid, like, will be willfully stupid if you're paying them to do that. You know what I mean? And there's no incentive here for them to eat all this crap. What is Pathways and who is Amelia? Pathways is an educational visual novel. Okay, it's a visual novel. And learning experience created by the UK media company Shout Out UK with funding from UK government's Prevent program run by the Home Office. The game is meant to teach the youth about the dangers of radicalization and extremism in both real life and online. This is done by putting players in the role of a character named Charlie who must navigate 6 different scenarios relating to extremism. You know what's so funny? They probably made this woman a woman because the people who are making it were like, let's be inclusive. We gotta, like, let's put all the genders in here. let's not always make it a bad man. Let's make it a woman. And it's just somehow like worked completely against them. In the second scenario, the player is introduced to the character Amelia, a staunch anti-immigration protester depicted as a goth girl with purple hair, a pink dress, and a choker. While players are not meant to take Amelia's side, one side of the internet has recently decided to turn her into a controversial waifu. All right, before I click on this waifu photo, let me just take this away from the screen. Oh, okay, it's just the definition of a waifu. Waifu is an English term primarily used by Asian men to refer to one's own wife. When the colloquial use of the word in East Asia, okay, otaku, anime. Yeah, so it's anime. Ah, damn it, I clicked off the thing. Okay, so we know who Amelia is. That's pretty dang funny, man. Thanks for telling me about Amelia. I put her in a music video on my channel. Damn, she's making the rounds on this Amelia. He probably discovered his mom's copy of Morning Glory Milk. Yeah, dude. I mean, that would make anybody want to say this.
Shut your bitch ass up.
If that story's real, which I highly doubt, it's missing a lot of pieces. Amelia is based. I love any woman that would sleep with me. Man, Raymond, I think about flying out to Ohio, man, and just chilling, getting a steak somewhere. Even if we find women or not, at least we'll have a good time. They tried to make the ending sound bad, but it's perfect. Manic Pixie Dream Girls. That's what it is. Manic Pixie Dream Girls. I hadn't actually heard of that until I started watching Raymond's channel. I've seen like the word pixie several times. Kind of in that, but the manic thing is new to me. Yeah, we were all confused that the goth girl was based in the beginning. Yeah, Pathway was a PSYOP game from UK, and that was the backfire of the century. That is hilarious, man. The ending was that they lived happily ever after with kids and a family. The game is up and running again. They edited out a bunch of her scenes, though. They use gender-neutral pronouns throughout the entire game, except for the dad. He's a he. Well, because you can afford to destroy every other gender role, but you need the he to remain there because the he is paying for everything. The he is keeping everything going on his shoulders. And the minute you get rid of he, then you got some real problems you got to solve. Yeah, with making the bad guy a girl, they took away their own playbook against boys. Gosh, that is really funny. You can't write hilarity that good. That is too funny. All right, let's go and see the next contender.
Blame on everyone else but yourself as a parent.
One thing about being a mom of boys, hate men, is they are.
Wow. I mean, right out of the gate, this is pretty bad. She's just like, one thing about being a mom of boys when I effing hate men. Like, damn, man. Okay. That's probably worse than kids having to get, taxied around town in a Hello Kitty vehicle. But that's sad. That's a sad thing.
Set up for success in dating. Hate men is they are set up for success in dating.
I know a guy who would beg to differ with you about that particular subject. I will only say that it sounds like she is dating a very particular kind of guy, to where it might seem like all guys are set up for dating.
They're not perfect. They're going to make mistakes, but they have heard me rant and have these uncomfortable conversations with them about what men do that's inappropriate and how to hold the men around you accountable as men. Because
oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, so she's raising her children to be simp enforcers. And well, if you see this, then you got to stand up and say something. You got to be the change. You got to be the change you want to see in the world.
Unfortunately, a lot of men only listen to men. And,
unfortunately, I mean, well, you see, now we have a common thread here between this video and the last video. Yeah, it turns out you can't do it all on your own when it comes to raising children. And I would say even daughters too, but in this case, especially sons. Yes, the child does need, and I'm not going to say father figure, the child needs his father in his life. You know, not some guy that's being nice to you, or, you know, the uncle or this or that from your side of the family. He needs to know about his dad's side of the family and his dad. That's what's missing here. I posted the evil ending in Discord. Okay, maybe I'll pull that up. She put this out on the internet. Where they had a bunch of, white kids. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Pathways evil ending. Okay, is this like a skit ending? I'm thinking probably. Or is it like the official video?
My oldest son is 18, and seeing the way that he treats the women in his life, I had a conversation with him the other day where I'm like, I'm so proud of the young man that you are turning into, and I'm so like proud of how much you care about your girlfriend's.
Okay, yeah, so this is kind of like gaslighting. You know what I mean? This is like kind of a compliment sandwich. So it's just like, okay, now when you're going to talk to them, see when you're going to talk to these boys, these young boys, what you're going to say, you're going to start out with something good. And you're going to be like, I'm so proud of you. And I know you're so gynocentric that when I say I'm proud of you, it immediately gets you like, ooh, okay. Yes, my lady. I'm so proud of you for doing these. And then you're going to sneak in the stuff there into the compliment sandwich, right? So let's go ahead and get to what's being snuck in.
With him the other day where I'm like, I'm so proud of the young man that you are turning into, and I'm so like proud of how much you care about your girlfriend's feelings, and I'm so proud of.
Man, oh God, dude. Well, at least she didn't say the girlfriend's gonna care about your feelings. Otherwise, we'd have copper wire guy again.
Of the way that you go out of your way for her and you do all these things, and he's like, Mom, that's the bare minimum.
Whoa, my God. Oh my God. Yeah, either this kid is indoctrinated or, you know, it didn't happen. Mom, that's the bare minimum any man can do. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be another situation where you just got to give it time. You know, just give it some time. Don't worry, he's going to learn. The entire Red Pill exists because of this programming for young men, quite literally. Like, this kid is primed so hard to find some Red Pill content, and he's going to just fall deeply into it. And, I mean, he's primed so hard, he's not even going to fall deeply into the good Red Pill content. He's going to fall deeply into, like, the grifter content. You know, it's only going to take one. Just give it some time. You know, we could all guess where this is heading. White knighting is crazy. Someone call this kid's father. We have a simp enforcer in them. This kid desperately needs his father. This kid desperately needs his father. And I'm sure there's some sad story about how the dad was abusive and he did this and we just had to get away from him. And oh my God, the programming and the men are so bad. Why can't they just be better? I had to save him from his father. Of course, as soon as he turns 18, I'm going to kick him out of the house. You know, once the child support payment's in. And, you know, it'll go from there. If a woman is proud of you, that's a red flag. If the reason she's proud is because he's engaging in simping pedestalization behavior. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, my eyebrows were already went up as soon as I heard that sentence. And that tone, too, especially, like, I am so proud of you. Oh.
Like, that's so insulting. And I just love it. I'm so proud.
Give it time.
When men do shitty things, my sons are the first one to be like, is everybody just gonna gloss over that? That was not okay.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about? And it just gives me a lot of hope. The men who get their panties all in a bunch because I don't want you. Are like, oh, I feel bad for your son. Okay, first of all, which one? I have 4. And second, like, they're going to be equipped to deal with women. They're going to be equipped to deal with women.
I want to hear about the dad or dads in this case. So she hates men. I mean, I hope she's still married to the dad. Okay, that might not be her left hand because iPhone, if that's what it is, sometimes mirrors that front camera.
And they're going to be able to recognize.
So she's manifesting right now. This is her speaking it into existence. She's speaking it. She's manifesting. This is the manifesting thing. Yet that abusive energy is what originally got her. What I mean, that's the honest truth, man. Listen, man, I hate to admit it, but yes, that is the honest truth, man. That is the honest truth. That is the honest truth. And that's what I mean when I say give it time for the kid, because, you know, I don't want bad things to happen, but it's like the kid is going to do all this stuff she's telling him, and then he's going to figure out literally what you just said here. He's going to figure that out the hard way. And then it's gonna, you know, then he's gonna be like, oh my gosh.
They played us like a damn fiddle!
You know, and hopefully he finds that out earlier rather than later too, by the way. I've always said, you know, guys who get heartbroken early are lucky. Better than get heartbroken later. Not 1, but 4 victims. She doesn't hate them enough to have been impregnated 4 times. Exactly. Exactly.
Like, see them as humans, have deeper connections with
See them as humans. See, again, this is the right out of the gate accusation. Immediately it's like, well, you hate women. See, and they do that, and it's supposed to be this gotcha, but all it does is just destroy the whole conversation, because then you know, okay, they're not having a good faith discussion with you. There's nothing you can say because the goalpost is just going to be moved forever. And the minute you enter into this frame of having it, look, no, I don't hate women, then it's like you're already now down here, and you blew the conversation. See, if you could just see them as humans, and you know, not your brood mares. Yeah, that's what you want, to have her sons judging you. Yeah.
Instead of the kind of moms who just, you know, ask for them forever, their son can do no wrong.
Sure is a lot of cursing in this video too, man. It kind of makes me wonder how she speaks in front of those children. Gosh, man.
Oh, won't somebody please?
A lot of cursing in this video.
And I understand that sometimes I have mom goggles on and I just think my sons are the best, but also if a woman comes to me and says things like, hey, that was shitty, I'm not gonna fight her on it. I'm gonna turn.
So she's gonna take the son's future girlfriends and future wives' side every time. Like, not only does this kid have to deal with his wife's mother-in-law, or with his mother-in-law, you know, on the wife's side, his own mom is gonna sit there and side with his wife. This is gonna be a situation where everybody knows the wife is cheating on the son, including his own mom, and even she didn't tell him.
To my son and be like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's have a conversation.
We gotta talk about it. You must have did something wrong.
Hold you accountable.
We'll hold you accountable.
Even when it's uncomfortable. It doesn't mean you're unsafe. It doesn't mean I hate you, but we're gonna have a conversation about how this isn't okay. So I, as a woman who hates out of...
The sad part is that this woman will literally be blindsided when her son rejects his BP conditioning. Yeah, I mean, you know, give it 4 sons. I mean, give it some time. Some of those 4 are gonna, you know, come into that, and then it'll create this whole split.
Men, woman who hates.
You can't say, you know, woman who hates men. Like that gave the whole game away.
So I, as a woman who hates out of
who hates
men.
The F out of men. Like, your sons are going to grow up into men. Are you going to hate your sons too at that point? Like, this is really what destroys everything she's saying. I mean, not that everything else she was saying was really holding up to much, but here we are.
I am so grateful to have these kind of conversations with my sons, and grateful for the books I make them read and the conversations we have, because I think it sets them up for success so much more than having
these books I make them read. Oh my God. Is this how Scott Galloway makes all his money?
Who contributes to the patriarchy and thinks their kids can't do anything wrong.
Okay, yeah, so she's just the outright feminist. Oh my God.
Doesn't hold them accountable. It doesn't have these conversations about how things within relationships can be abused that aren't just beating the shit out of people.
See, there's another thing. There's another one of those. It's just, then it goes into not seeing them as humans or just beating people and all that. It's just like this 1000% worst case scenario, you know, which the vast majority of people are not doing, and throwing that in like everybody's doing.
And a lot of men my age think if you commit to someone, that means that you don't get to leave no matter what. So as long as I'm not beating the absolute shit out of you, you have no reason to leave. When in reality, if you're not valuing your partner, if you're not
Oh,
treating them
God,
as
here it
equal,
is.
if you're not listening to them,
Listen, man, the only way to treat a woman as an equal is this.
Your dowry, it's my right.
When you truly see a woman as an equal, these are the questions that you ask.
Which one of these broads has the richest father?
Yeah, see, this is the equality question.
What's the dowry situation?
Exactly.
Let's get down to brass tacks here.
This next woman, she is not equal.
I have no dowry. If anything, I have a negative dowry.
Yeah, see, she's here, and the guy she's talking to is up here. So that's not equal right there. And she needs to figure out how to solve that problem. This woman hates her son, setting them up for epic failure. I know. I feel almost bad, too. It's kind of messed up. Dude, when I was telling my friend about the Kingsman situation, who is mostly liberal, he instantly went to blaming Kingsman. Man, I'm not familiar with what that is. If you can break that down a little bit for me, I'd appreciate that, Dan the man. I'm not sure what the Kingsman situation is. I must have missed that. Maybe that was a big story last week. Hey, Luke, welcome in, man. Good to see you. Does anyone here realize she's literally admitting to child abuse? Gosh. If a man was doing this, they would probably, they would have probably found him a while ago. Her, though, because of gynocentrism. I mean, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but that's a good point. That's a good point. It's funny because the projection is crazy. You know what I mean? It's like they'll be like, oh, well, they're just raising a woman to just have kids and do that and never leave the house or something. Meanwhile, she's doing that to her sons. Like, she doesn't understand. She's compartmentalizing. Like, she's putting her sons in this horrible box to be in. And how long is that going to last? Probably till about their first heartbreak. Insert CJ's I'm not happy soundbite. Exactly. That's the perfect soundbite for this. Partner. Yeah. Women are well aware of the fact that they can leave whenever they want. They're just getting mad now that men have figured that out. Exactly. And it's just the constant moving of the goalposts. And what she's doing is she's saying abuse here is actually beating the crap out of them. And she's got the little poo emoji there. But what's going to happen is none of that's going to be there, and they're going to find a way to define abuse with other things, right? You were being emotionally abusive. He was being controlling, this and that. And those are all perfectly legitimate reasons to leave. This woman has 4 sons. I wonder with how many men, and it sounds like she has left from all of them. So she seems to be really big on reasons to leave here. So
if you're not in tune with how they feel, if you their feelings, you don't deserve them, period. So again, I love being a mom. I love raising young men, and I am just super grateful for the role I have there as a woman.
Can you truly love being a mom without being love being a wife at the same time? Or is that possible? I'm sure every woman would say yes. But can you be a good mom if you're not also a good wife? Because they're looking at you and they're looking at dad as role models and literally, acting out, not just acting out, but living out certain roles and in certain different dynamics and things like that. And you will play the role of mom, but if you won't play the role of wife, are you truly being a good mom? Basically, there was a Marvel Rivals game for 40K. Okay, 40K. Kingsman was hard carrying the game while 2 of the women on the team were throwing the game and made fun of Kingsman for trying to pay off college. Wow. Pay off college debt. Wow. And so that Marvel Rivals, I know, is like a Steam game, or I can't remember what kind of game it was, probably Epic Games, but so it sounds like, is he like a streamer, this King? Let me look it up. Now I'm curious. This Kingsman guy, and he was on a team with these women. And this Amelia figure is so funny. Kingsman, Marvel Rivals drama. Okay. What's the deal? Okay, out of the loop. Well, we're back on Reddit again, folks. I saw this comment. Guys, tell me if I'm wrong. if this is wrong. The tournament was draft pick tournament with the winning team getting 40K. The main people involved are Kingsman, Cece, Zaza, and Lucy. So Cece as team lead picked Kingsman and the other team members. Zaza is known as a one-trick widow player that plays with about 250 ping. This means that she pretty much only plays one character and that her connection is slow. So that's terrible. If you're playing on some elite level gaming, like, you got to have some better internet than that. The team begins practicing by scrimming other teams. Kingsman starts to talk some strategy with the others by talking about doing triple support, one of the meta team comps, and that Widow might not be a good character to pick. This goes back and forth for quite a while to the point of CC and others telling Kingsman to shut the F up. Damn, man, that's hella mean. They hit him with one of these, man.
Shut your bitch ass
All right.
up.
Okay, so Kingsman was being way too patriarchal, and then the heroine feminist came in and shut him down. Kingsman never commented on Zaza's ability to play, just that the character Widow is not a viable pick to play. Yeah, I mean, he's looking at the team. He's like, how are we going to win this game? There's 40K on the line. Let's have the best strategy possible. I mean, yeah, that makes all the sense of the world. And it sounds like he wasn't being like, even mean about it. Just that the character Widow is not a viable pick to play. He was trying to set up the team to win, as this is a tournament for 40K. He also mentioned that he is a broke college student and could really use the money. After several games, everyone leaves the Discord and Kingsman is told that he has been kicked from the tournament. The team played the tournament and proceeded to come in last place. Wow, that's sad. Kingsman makes a video about the whole ordeal, and people can actually listen to the matches that they were playing together, and it is shown that Cece, Zaza, and Lucy were all saying some nasty things about Kingsman. It came out that actually Zaza's boyfriend had put together a Word doc with evidence that Kingsman was being toxic. Man, okay, so we got the simp enforcer there. Kingman was being toxic which he submitted to the tournament organizer. Man, they're doing some real reputation destruction stuff right here. Who then proceeded to kick Kingsman. The evidence was proven and admitted to be embellished. Zaza's boyfriend has put out an apology. Wow. The tournament organizer is under fire as well for banning King without actually looking into the matter. Well, at least there's a little bit of justice here. I mean, Zaza has been quiet and made all of her accounts private. Okay, so she's too good to apologize. Cece has put out 1 or 2 apologies that have just fueled the fire. So it sounds like they were non-apologies. I'm sorry that it made you feel that way. People claiming she is shifting the blame, and also that she used ChatGPT to write the whole apology. Yeah, this is speculation, of course. There was also a screenshot leaked of CC messaging in her Discord, something along the lines of, well, he probably hasn't left his room in the past 20 years, and that's why his social skills are so bad. Lucy is one that is a bit unclear. Her and Kingsman were friends, duo that played together. She was defending his point at first, but then somewhere in the middle, she flipped and started really going in on King. Lucy and CC call King's community, wow, PDF files and misogynist. Lucy also said something supporting Kingsman is like supporting Israel to Israel, but I can't quite remember what that was now. So yeah, so all these people are just losing their mind out here, basically. Basically, there was a huge amount of bullying towards Kingsman for trying to win the tournament. The bullying got him kicked from the tournament, and it continued after. Yeah, so, the women were just there to look pretty, you know what I mean? Because that's what they do on Twitch or whatever this was. Sounds like a Twitch drama. And, the guy who actually has to be the good player, they just got mad at him for asking for, a tiny bit of accountability. And of course, there's some people who are trying to use this as a basis for their misogyny, but that's kind of a separate issue. Here is a better summary I found that also includes links. Okay. Just a few things to add. Kingsman is a top-ranked Magic player and has been number 1 on both console and PC. She picked him knowing this, and there's clips of her saying that's why she picked him. After the whole incident, there have been SS shared of her. Screenshots shared of her bullying him in both his DMs and other chats, and she's still doing it now, all while playing the victim on Twitter. Zaza has also made an apology, shifting the blame to everyone else but her. And yeah, okay, yeah. So it's just, I'm learning about all kinds of things today, guys. That's interesting. Thanks for sharing that, man. I can kind of see how that is kind of a crazy thing. Kingsman is also a top 500 player, and he made it to top 1, I think. He should be the one to listen. to, but no one wanted to listen because he ruined the vibes. Yeah, well, you know, it's like, if I don't get why if they're not even interested in being good at the game, like, why join the tournament? And probably the way the tournament's set up, it's like, listen, the fact is probably the best players are all guys. I mean, if we're being honest here, the vast majority of them. Maybe there's some ladies. And they probably did it with some kind of inclusion in mind. So they brought in these ladies, but these ladies aren't really that good at it. It's what it seems like. And, you know, and I guess he was just making them uncomfortable. Literally, that is what they said, ruin the vibes. It's also ironic that she made fun of him for playing games, yet they play games for a living. Yeah, but it's just like, you know, it's not even about, for them, it's probably not even about being good at the game. It's just that, you know, women can garner a lot more viewers on Twitch, well, frankly, any platform, for less, but guys have to really be like nerds about the game. You know, you can't just casually play it. So, man, yeah, that's kind of crazy. She loves raising young men. I thought she did not like young men. No logic there. Thanks for that info on that. So I got to respond to someone's text. I'll let this play.
Who's repulsed by men?
Okay, so the first order of business is something that I know a lot of people are going to disagree with because they think that they've been doing this really great feminist work this whole time, and it's actually is not dismantling the patriarchy whatsoever. When we give girls boy names, when we influence them into STEM, when we keep them from playing with dolls or Barbies or having pink, what we're doing is...
Okay, this lady, damn, let me...
As a woman who's repulsed by men.
Okay, so the first order of business...
As the woman who's repulsed by men. Okay, first order of business. Let's see what this lady's got to say.
Is something that I know a lot of people are going to disagree with because they think that they've been doing this really great feminist work this whole time, and it's actually is not dismantling the patriarchy whatsoever. When we give girls boy names, when we influence them into STEM, when we keep them from playing with dolls or Barbies or having pink, what we're doing is we are upholding masculine traits above feminine traits. The real feminist...
Well, okay, I mean, let's see. This is interesting.
Work is in giving our sons feminine names, is in making sure that our sons...
Well, hold on a second.
The real feminist work is in giving our sons feminine names.
Oh, my God. Okay, never mind. First, I was like, oh, but okay, never mind.
Is in making sure that our sons have meaningful relationships with girls, that they're reading books with girls that are the main characters, that they're having tea parties, that they are in ballet.
See, I don't know. Like, what's... Give girls stories with main characters. Like, give boys... stories with the boys as main characters. You know, you used to play video games back in the day, and they'd give you like two characters to choose from. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want to be the boy or do you want to be the girl? And you could choose either. Whatever. You know what I mean? And probably, you know, it's just that was okay. But it's like, see, this is the force feeding right here, and it's just not. It's not organic. You know what I mean? From what I have seen, even the women on the internet don't take their sides. Yeah, that one sounds egregious, like pretty bad. Long story short, women throw man tried to win and pay. Call your son Meredith if you want. I ain't. Yeah, exactly. You know what, man? Women will try to do that when they're, if that happened, like, you know, if that happened, like they, you know, they're just like, oh, I'm naming him that. I'm out of there, man. God help me. I mean, maybe it's easier said than done, but at a certain point, this boy is gonna get old enough. He's gonna want to see his dad. It's inside of them, and I'm gonna look that kid straight in the eye. You know, say he's 18, I'm gonna be like, son, I need you to change your name. Then you and I can go from there. I'll even help you with that paperwork, but till that happens, I mean, I need you to think about this. All right. So we'll talk later. We'll talk later. And that's what's gonna happen. Johnny Cash, good song. The indoctrination starts early. Wow, son's feminine names. Backspace, undo, Control Z. She wants to turn boys into maggots, but the other word.
You know, allowing boys to cry is nice, and giving girls the...
See, again, I mean, this is just another give it time type of scenario right here, man. Like, give it time. The kid's going to run into something when he figures out that this was all BS, and he's going to be pissed when he does.
Option to be whoever they want to be. Both of those things are great. They're not enough. They're not anywhere close to being.
How are you giving your kid the option to be what they want to be when you're force feeding this kid to read stories with women main characters and to give them a feminine name? That's kind of like the opposite of giving your kid the choice of what they want to be.
Enough. Femininity needs to be so ingrained into our sons that it would never even occur to them to view a girl or a woman as lesser ever.
Somebody else here says,
and then, you know, she's just like, well, oh God, it's just too much.
Co-parenting simply does not work when two people have vastly different values.
Oh, that's the same comments from the first video because I remember them.
Yeah. So you decide to be. The next comment says, my biggest fear is having a boy and him turning to this. Another person here says in response to that, it's
okay. That's the
avoidable,
that's the
it
first
takes
video's
so much
comments.
patience.
Weird.
So tell me you're a male.
Okay.
But it takes so much patience, love, and nurturing to
All right, guys, brace for impact.
Get there.
Tell me you're a male feminist without telling me you're a male feminist. I'll start. So I have this friend, McKenna, great girl.
He's got the shirt on too. The future is female.
She was dating this guy named Tanner. Not a great guy.
Why does this guy's glasses look like they don't have any lenses in them? Like it looks like you can put your finger around the frames right there. Is it just me? It doesn't look like there's any glass there.
Would disrespect her. He would not treat her like the queen she was. He would cheat.
This dude's playing a character, man. He's wearing fake glasses. This can't be real.
On her? Probably. Didn't have any direct evidence of that part, but I'm sure he did. And I would remind her of this daily. And finally, she broke up with him. So I'm hanging out with her after, and she goes, Cole, I wish I could find a guy just like you.
Okay, this has to be a joke. I think this guy might be a little. Oh damn it! I can't find my.
Oh no, not the rainbow version.
Yeah.
Never mind. That says rainbow.
There might be something going on.
So naturally, I made a move on her, and she rejected me.
Oh, okay. So he made a move on her. Oh, okay.
Hanging out with her after, and she goes, Cole, I wish I could find a guy just like you. So naturally, I made a move on her, and she rejected me. I'm like, excuse me?
Oh my gosh.
You wish you could find a guy just like me? And me. Hook up with me. I've been putting in the time. I deserve this.
Okay, it's a joke. This has to be a parody.
You owe me. I'm just going to keep going for the bad boys. Then you're going to keep getting your heart broken, and you'll deserve it. You need to go for the good guys like me.
He's joking. He's just like, you're not a real male feminist if you are like
nice
this.
guys like me. Just give me a chance and let me show you how nice I am. I will be nicer to you than the other guys. Just let me show you.
See, like, the funny part about this video is this is a guy who's been suppressing his true self in front of these women in order to get their approval. And the women, I guess, in this case, superficially like him suppressing himself because this guy is probably controllable. At least the character he's playing is controllable, does all the stuff for them without them having to do anything back. Like, why? I would love to find a guy just like you that's easily manipulated just like you. And it's so inorganic what he's doing that it just, you guys got to remember, like, they call red pillars the angry ones, but it's really blue pill ragers that are the crazy ragers. Like, this is like blue pill rage right here. And that's what the moms in this video are setting up their kids to be, to have a crash out like this, to where they finally get to a point and they just lose their mind because all the advice from this woman and this lady here led to this.
Nice I can be. You. God damn it.
This is it.
Okay, let's see what this Krispy Kreme lady got to say. Hot take: there is no right way to raise a son under a violent white supremacist patriarchy. No matter how much or how well you try, if he wants, the patriarchy will eventually take hold of his mind and raise him with it. So they just can't admit like that the boy is different. The boy has these things inside of him that requires a maybe different style of nurturing that isn't whatever their propaganda is. But let's see what she has to say about it. Any of you guys ever been to a Krispy Kreme? I haven't been to one of those in years. But you know what that is, what a male feminist would say. an act. She likes the simp chasing desperate energy, but will never love it. Yeah. Yeah. Eventually the kids will grow older to their teenage years and will form identities of their own and find someone who they can relate to. And same for the girls as well. Yeah. And this right here is just comes off as an excuse, you know, like it's just super odd. Like, no, they're just boys. It's not because of whatever you're saying this is. That's why they're gonna be boys. Boys will be boys. Yeah, I always hated that. I wish I could find a guy like you, but I'm here. These women sound like fascists, but for feminism.
Point that I am trying to make. There is no right way to raise a son. A lot of women think, oh, I'll just love him and teach him to love and respect women and give him what he needs growing up and he'll turn out to be a great man. No, it does not work like that. Because at a certain point, usually in, school age adolescents during puberty, they are going to realize that they are a future man and you are just a woman. By the way,
I mean, listen, so far I'm not even disagreeing with her. Now she describes it as just a woman as a demeaning thing, but the fact is that you're a woman and I'm a man, and we're having a different experience here.
Why I hate hearing y'all say, oh, I'm just a girl, because the men agree and they are using that as justification for harming us.
Okay, never mind. This fell off a cliff. Off a cliff. Well, hold on 1 second. There we go.
No matter how much you love your son and no matter how many values you try to instill in him, after a certain point, he is going to look to other males for guidance on how to behave and perform in this world.
That's true.
After a certain point in his development, you will be obsolete and he will begin to look to other men and males for a blueprint on how to move about in this world.
Yeah, probably around puberty. Mama's little boy is going to grow up and then mom is going to become the devouring mother, the smotherer, not let her little boy grow up into a man, and it's going to severely retard his growth,
Programming runs very deep and begins basically as...
Hold on, what'd she say?
And males for a blueprint on how to move about in this world. And the programming runs...
The programming. I mean, the programming or the instincts? Like, I think she's insinuating it's like a patriarchal programming that's just so deep. It's like, listen, if you're going to sell it like that, just say it's natural. I mean, what are you talking about?
On how to move about in this world. And the programming runs very deep and begins basically as soon as they are born. Go to your local kids' clothing store and look at all the clothes. It is no coincidence that all the little boys' clothes have predator animals on them and all the little girls' clothing has prey animals on them. This is a perfect example. The boys wear dinosaurs and lions.
Yeah, no, it's I think she's putting the cart before the horse. It's because the boys think that's cool. Like they want the dinosaur. Man, when I was a kid, I had this dinosaur sweater. It was a blue sweater and it had this green T-Rex on it. And it was like sort of lifelike looking. I thought it was so cool. It was a really cool sweater. I even had the matching pajama sweatpants to that.
Other deadly predatory animals.
Yeah, and the girls, they just think that's like, oh, that's cute. The girls, I mean, they're not really feeling that. The boys are feeling this right here. And that's okay.
And the girls wear bunny rabbits and lambs and fawns. This is the priming and programming that is instilled in children from birth.
You know what? I'm just going to ask in the poll. Start poll. Is some programming okay? Heck, is it necessary? Heck, or frankly, even necessary? Like, all right, whatever. Is some programming okay? Like, I mean, if you're going to be a human and you're going to exist like on the planet, you know what I mean? And there's all this stuff and there's danger, there's uncertainty, there's good things, there's bad things, there's challenges. We live in a world full of exploration and new things and all this kind of stuff. Like, We've had thousands of years of human history, and in that we've had an accumulation of knowledge and wisdom, and that's been condensed into these kind of like mythic packets, you know, that get taught to the kids as these kind of like archetypes. And it's trying to condense thousands of years of learned wisdom into something that is helping, you know, set these kids up for a better future by giving them something to grow into that makes sense, that ostensibly fits in what society will help them be successful. I mean, I think some of that's okay, right? I mean, it can't be just that bad. This is what fathers are for, but you know, take down exactly. They need their fathers. Duh, he's a male, LOL. The women sound jealous that they are not men themselves, is the lisp on purpose. It all comes down to Penny. Oh yeah, envy, apparently. I think you nailed it, FX Trader. I was completely into dinosaurs as a kid. So me too, man. I love dinosaurs and I love sharks, like great white sharks. Yeah, and T-Rexes, man. Yeah, I got a T-Rex right here, actually. You know what? I literally got two. Well, I got a raptor. I got a T-Rex right there. There's a tiger. So yeah, I mean, what's wrong with that? I got a Godzilla thing right there. Nothing but Krispy Kreme in the head too, apparently. Some programming is necessary. She actually means culture, but she's also mixing up with biology because she's a Dumbo, especially for a civil society. Yeah, most definitely. I agree with you, man. Yeah. Yeah, there needs to be. And these other like, I guess just attempts at like, oh, well, we got to give them stories with female characters, or we got to name them female names. Ha ha ha, watch us turn everything on its head. Look how innovative we are. Like, that's not even interesting what they're doing. All they're doing is taking something and just being reactive to it and just flipping things around. Like, they're so uncreative and unimaginative that all they can do is take what's there and just flip it around. Like, oh, that's what you came up with? You know, out of all of this, like, okay, yeah, well, that's going to be a disaster. So you're taking a system that's designed to run a certain way, and you're just going to change the parts around, and then it's just going to be a giant disaster. Obviously, it's not going to work because it wasn't designed that way. Like, why don't you actually come up with something new that's actually new and not just, you know, reactive to the system that's in place? Is it me, or is their head abnormally small? Maybe it's the camera angle.
Toys are another great example of this. Boys get toy pews and cars and trucks and
yeah, this is tight, man. Like the little tank right here, man, that's sick. Oh man, with the construction one, dude, especially if you're playing outside and you can actually put some dirt in it too, man. Oh, that sounds hecka tight, bro. I want to move some dirt with that. Oh, some Hot Wheels. The planes are always tight. Can't go wrong with some planes, especially a little fighter jet. I remember when I was a kid, man, and I remember my dad coming home and sometimes bring us something. I remember getting a little helicopter with the light on it, man. It was sick. Even some fighter jets, man. It's the best.
The machinery and get to fantasize about one day being in positions of power using play.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, is it positions of power? Like, you know, I've been thinking about this lately, especially with all this, you know, fraud going on here and all these different places. And it's like, just because somebody does the hard jobs in society, it doesn't actually mean they're in power. They're still taking orders, but the people are in power. Sometimes, to me, it seems like the bean counters, the ones that like look at all the data and they say, these are the numbers. This is what we saw. This is what it means. This is what we should do based off the stuff that we saw and what it means. And sometimes I feel like women are in a lot of those positions. I was watching one of those public, it was like a California public meeting that they were having. And it was just full of women that were kind of in these administrative bureaucratic positions. So it's just like, I mean, who's really in positions of power right now, and who's influencing and pulling at the levers of power? Is it the cop on the street? You know what I mean? Or is it the bean counters that are in these sort of admin roles, the managerial class, you can say?
What do little girls get? Babies to take care of, and fake kitchen sets, and fake vacuums, and play makeup.
They love that stuff.
None of this is accidental. All of this is designed to prime and prep.
Is it really designed that way, or is it just designed that way because it sells? It's designed that way because it sells, because parents, they are going to buy this for their kids. They know what they're going to, they know what they want. Maybe they bought some other stuff and the kids were like, we don't want this. And it didn't sell. And so they're like, yeah, well, we got to make this and we got to make that. And that's what sells.
Your son for what will be his future position of power over you in this world. It does not matter how you raise your son, because after a certain point, he is going to look to other males to teach him how to.
Yeah, after a certain point, he's going to look for his power like any creature does in this world, and he's going to exercise that power and try to exercise it. And your point of raising someone is that they can sublimate that power into some higher purpose and meaning and exercise it in a way that's compatible with civilization and not incompatible with civilization. The ironic part is women love the men who are incompatible with civilization. Someone was pointing that out earlier in the chat.
In the world and completely.
So they love the guys that are the bad boys, quite literally. And then, you know, the sons come out, you know, it's just like, what do you expect?
Regard you. And this is also why after a certain point, you can no longer be close to your brother or your male relatives that you grew up with, because the programming has set in and they have realized that they are a man or a future man and you are just a woman.
This is like pure toxic poison right here.
Does not deserve their respect.
Another person who says, yes, he needs to be.
Oh, he's still reading the same That's interesting. They split up the comments. I think his editor might have, who knows? It's the same comments for that original. See, oh, there's the TikTok person.
Schmacked. Another person who says, I could not have kids because this would be me. Somebody else here added.
It's all ironically violent.
I fear it's time to throw the iPad away.
That mom was probably violent with her kid. And then the kid grew up and now the kid only learned these kinds of things. And it's just like, now the kid's just too big for that. And it's sad too, because when the kid finally gets there, it's like, you could only hope the dad can get there in time before the kid actually ends up in real kind of trouble. You know what I mean? That raw energy does need to be sublimated into something.
Yeah. I know I said, you know, you can't kick a 15-year-old out, but you can definitely discipline.
That's interesting. So he reacted to one video and then they put a couple other TikToks in there that were just interesting. I wonder, I don't know why. That's kind of odd. Okay, see the comments. It's not red pill content. It's the fact that he's 15 now and realizes that you did his father. That's what it is. He figured it out. He figured out the game and he saw through the lies. And he's pissed. He's pissed about it now. Let me just end this poll real quick. 70% say yes. I agree with that. We do need some programming in order to have a coherent civilization. Like, yes, there is such a thing as propaganda. There's stuff that's inorganic. But then there's actually, like, I would say real archetypal stuff that actually does speak to us humans, that makes sense to us. That is like, you know, the real... I even feel like I don't want to call it programming because it seems kind of like a negative connotation, but that's the stuff that actually makes sense, you know, on like a mythic level. Red Pill has saved my life from all the BS that comes from being naive. By hating women, she means he actually thinks for himself and knows when to tell them no. The lady with 4 sons are setting her sons up for a world of hurt. Yup. I think Mr. Pitt said that in the chat. Single mothers have no idea how much they ruin their sons. For example, one woman on here talked about how much she wanted to how much she ranted to her son about men. Oh yeah, it just sounds like torture. All her son heard is how much she hates men. How much she hates him as well. I heard it my entire childhood from my mother. How crappy my father was. How I was just like him. Man, see? Imagine villainizing Red Pill while simultaneously promoting rainbow relationships amongst minors in the exact same rant. Yeah. Her son has some common sense. Red Pill is waking guys up to the true reality. Red Pill doesn't ruin men. It just enlightens them to things that women benefit from men not knowing. Yeah, there you go. if single moms are raising their sons without male role models, then these women have failed their sons. Yeah. And listen, you know, father figure, male role model. And, you know, I get it. I'm just the father, not the father figure, the father. It's called puberty. Sounds like a normal kid thing. Yeah. I mean, really, that's what it is. Her 18-year-old is treating his girlfriend well and going out of his way for her. This happens once in a man's life. His 18-year-old girlfriend has the opportunity for love like that. All she has to do is respect him and love him back and not betray him. If she betrays him, no girl will get that treatment again. Yeah, I mean, and the red pill exists because of this, you know, scenario right here. I think tradcons would love this. This is their promise. This is where the red pill comes in right here. The red pill has nothing to do with disrespecting or hurting women. Exactly. That's true. Weird how when you don't let people take advantage of you, then suddenly you're the villain. When you see through lies, you apparently hate them. Yeah, that's what they do. Like when they don't actually have anything to say to you that's meaningful, it's, oh, you hate us. Oh, well, yeah, so you just hate us, right? Like that's just it, you know, where do you go from there? She's just jealous because her head is the size of a kiwi fruit. This shot, I think it is because people have short attention span, why they put clips mid-video. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting strategy, almost. It's like, I don't know. It's like they know that kind of algorithm-esque stuff will keep people glued there, so they will get the extra view time on the YouTube channel. Just odd to not see him react to it. But that's kind of like the first time I've ever seen that. A little odd. The kid saw something in his mom that turned his world upside down. We were mentioning this. Now she's panicking because he can't unsee what she's accidentally shown him. Yeah, I think there's something to this here. We're missing a lot from that story. And whatever he saw shattered his world. Like it wasn't the red pill content that shattered the world. It was his mom that did that. It was something she did, and it fundamentally changed him. So yeah. I don't believe this story at all. Yeah. I mean, I believe they believe it's true. I don't believe it's true. Love how she trashes red pill and then praises feminism is great. How about you teach your kid not to attach to ideologies in general and think for himself? Yeah, you know, I like that. The boy woke up to the BS from his mother. I love how women mistake their misandry for their son finding peace and setting boundaries for not getting caught in women's manipulation tactics. How do we know the story isn't fabricated? Okay, yeah, so Reaper put, hey man, welcome in. I think I might have saw you earlier. And what a common scenario. It happened to me 3 times because well, you know, it happens to the best of us, man. Shout out to you though, bro. Man, hitting 2 hours. I know I wasn't going to stream too much tonight, bro. I kind of, you know, maybe we'll watch this last video just to do it. Where's this? That's a divorce lawyer. This video, oh, by the way, guys, we got 20, I don't know if I could put a link in the chat. I think it can, but we got 22 people here. We got 21 likes, man. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for that. I want to share Don DeMarco, our very own Don DeMarco's channel. He's got 5 subscribers. But shout out to Don DeMarco. He's a regular here in the tavern. So, you know, guys, if you want to... Oh, it's unlisted. Oh, okay. Well, that's Don DeMarco's channel, you know. Shout out Don DeMarco. This doesn't have much to do with anything. I don't know what it was. I would love to see Raymond Thoughts and Minds react to this. So I'm just going to react to it too. But it says, why aren't actors ugly anymore? And something about this kind of spoke to me. I don't know. It's just like, it is true, you know, and I don't watch that many new movies because, you know, they're mostly bad. But it is true. It's like, he's going to show examples of like movies. And when you look at older movies, like people just look normal, but now everybody just has to look like a supermodel. And it kind of got me thinking about this like looks maxing stuff. And that's been kind of swirling around as a buzzword, I guess you can say, and this kind of obsession with it. I'm sure some of this ties into, you know, Instagram culture or whatever, you know, the social media aspect. But it's turned everything lifeless and it sucks. You know what I mean? It's lifeless and it's just sterile and boring and just super weird. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So, you know, just as a little bonus before I end the stream, let's just watch this video. It's 13 minutes. I randomly saw it and I just thought it was interesting. I'm curious about what you guys think.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Bill Murray was 30.
Oh, shoot.
Ghostbusters.
That's right, boys.
And in the 70s and 80s, this is what actors in their 30s
I'll
and
start
40s.
it again.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Bill Murray was 33 when he shot Ghostbusters.
That's right, boys.
And in the 70s and 80s, this is what actors in their 30s and 40s look like. But something has changed since then, because actors that age today don't look like this anymore.
I lost my hand!
They look like this. Or like this. Actors today need to have great hair, perfect skin, and be in flawless shape. They don't look like regular people anymore, they look like supermodels. This isn't every single actor, but it's clear there's been an overall change in how A-list performers look. And it's also how they're shown.
You know, yeah, it's crazy to think about too. And it's like, I guess it's the technology or whatever, but it's kind of sad, right? Like, it's sad because normal people, I don't know, like it's even weird to call it normal people, but it's like, this is just people right here. But instead everybody's got to have like this very manufactured look. Like it's all fake and it just sucks. And I mean, the writing is also terrible in a lot of these new movies, but you know, 100% real. Everyone is using hair prosthesis. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I know there's those hair surgeries. The answer is literally with their own daughters. What do you see women chasing, stacking high body counts, or becoming baby moms after men who drinks coffee and read books in library, or NFL, NBA players? Oh gosh, where is this? There was the one guy who got shot by ICE. The media edited his photo to make him look better. I think, yeah, I think I saw that. Or there was like this before and after of him going around, which is like, it's kind of eerie, isn't it? I don't know, man. It's a little spooky. It's just very like, that's just very weird. This is why I want to hear Raymond react to it. I'll have to send this video to Raymond. Like, it's just super odd. They're all taking hormones, steroids, and creams that cost $5K. But then again, she was an A-list.
To the camera, like in low lighting and with more vibrant colours. They're surrounded by other people and on an actual set rather than a green screen.
Everything's under control, situation normal.
You're probably going to say this is because of a wider trend of movies looking bland and flat nowadays, and things like bad lighting, dull colours and the Netflixy look make basically everything in modern movies look worse. And also, we can't ignore cosmetic surgery.
As my plastic surgeon always said.
But if you look at movies from before the millennia, it's hard to deny that the actors looked more like regular people.
Keep it still back there, lady, or else we're gonna have to shoot you.
Okay, so the word ugly is a bit harsh, and I'm not trying to objectify or body shame anyone.
You know what I wonder it is? It's like, I mean, I think these studios just know their audience, and it's like if men aren't really, and I don't know, it could be even, but if men as a demographic aren't really paying to see these movies anymore, then, you know, the studios are maybe just pandering to women, and maybe that's just what women want to see.
Most people who are cast in movies aren't unpleasant to look at. I just mean that they have bodies and faces that could theoretically belong to a normal person without the aid of personal trainers, dietitians, and plastic surgeons. They look like normal everyday people.
And it kind of goes into this whole like hyper self-improvement discussion, you know what I mean? And having to, you know, be the chiseled jawed alpha guy, and the whole looks matching, and the, what is that, leg lengthening surgery, or being this or being that. I don't know, man. It's all really just ridiculous. Hyper looks maxing culture is ruining society. Looks maxing may be the straw that broke the manosphere's back as far as public perception is concerned. Now that the public can tangentially connect the RP to face hammers and meth, it's game over. Yeah. It's pretty bad. And shout out to you, Mr. Pitt. Yeah, I don't know. It's a funny thing. It's like, I think at the end of the day, it's like, okay, if you actually want to try to do that, you have to pay a lot. You know, Coach talks about money, energy, attention, and time, and all of that requires an investment of time and energy and all that kind of stuff to do that legitimately. If it's all for mindless hedonism, then people will probably find no issue with cheating to get there, I guess. Well, it's like, oh, these are just the metrics I need to be at. Okay, how can I do that? It's super odd. I think for us, man, like, you know, kind of growing up like as millennials or before that, it's super odd, but maybe for younger people who just grew up with the internet, like, but not just the internet, but social media specifically, it seems like the way to go. I think that guy was also in a group chat which they were stalking ICE agents and trying to dox them. It's very simple. The only factor that matters is beauty. Yeah, whatever they're doing in Hollywood is not working. Movies are terrible nowadays. Maybe they have pretty people, but they still suck. They really do suck. It's so bad how it is. And I've really tried to give chances, but I find myself watching older movies a lot more. It's rare. And even if I see a movie nowadays that I think is like, okay, it doesn't really have like rewatch value. There's just something missing in it. It's really odd.
Walking down the street.
I need a man who has powerful friends.
Bruce Willis, Bill Murray, and Jack Nicholson aren't bad-looking guys, but they have a sort of everyman appeal that we just don't see in today's stars.
Saw it on the television.
And a big part of this is that today, people just generally look younger.
Physical, clean, age.
That's a young Robert De Niro right there.
There's a great Vsauce video from a few years ago that goes into this in more detail. Essentially, the clothes and overall style has changed, and combined with better medical care, nutrition, and less smoking, people are healthier and better looking.
I don't even know if I agree with that, man. Like, the food is not... I think the nutrition is not as good as back then. I mean, I'm sure there was people who were malnourished. But, you know, I wonder if the stat of 7 out of 10 people who are overweight is still true. I don't know. I don't think it's that. I think it's just that they're really just choosing this specific kind of look. So that, I don't know. That's an interesting thing to think about.
I guess I started smoking when I was about 4.
So here's a few age comparisons that highlight this in action.
My mom was already dead then from lung cancer.
Gene Hackman is 44 here. Actors in their mid-40s today look like this.
Are we soulmates?
Or like this. There's quite a big difference.
Just a little slap.
Sylvester Stallone was 30 when he first shot Rocky.
Look at his face.
A comparable actor today would be Timothée Chalamet at 29.
You young pup.
But they play very different types of characters. If we want to be fair, let's compare two all-American action stars.
Sorry, I was about to do a Sylvester Stallone impression.
Glenn Powell, 35
I like
in
Sylvester
Twisters,
Stallone.
and Bruce Willis, 33 in Die Hard. Robert Pattinson was 35 when he played Batman, and Michael Keaton was only 2 years older.
Bruce Wayne.
Are you sure?
But Keaton has visible lines around his mouth, his hair has receded a bit, and he has a subtle 5 o'clock shadow that doesn't feel purposeful. But Pattinson, even though dressed up to look sleep-deprived and reclusive, has a chiseled jaw and perfect skin. Overall, he looks a lot younger.
That's interesting.
But there's something more at play than actors simply looking older in the past.
Frank, they're not here for you.
It's the kind of faces that have changed too.
Weird Al Yankovic is on the plane.
It's the everyman look, receding curly hair or imperfect.
See, that's a character right there. I'm like, man, I wonder what this movie's about. Even if it's like a side character. I could probably watch this entire movie. Oh, that's a Clockwork Orange. Okay, yeah, there you go. You could just see one frame from this and know it's a good movie. Want to know the answer? As the critical drinker says, money and success don't matter. What matters is the message. Interesting thing there. I don't know if I'm quite understanding it so much. Food was way healthier back then, more natural. I think so too. Absolutely. Klaus says, and I thought it was just me getting older. Why I like the older movies better. Oh man, yeah, it's the new movies are just whack. I honestly don't even have a Netflix subscription. Every now and then, like, I'll go to somebody's place who has Netflix. You know, actually, and to be honest with you, the last few times were really like at a woman's, like they would have Netflix. Or maybe like a family house and they, you know, the wife wants to have Netflix, and I'll flip through it. I don't really see anything that I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this. It's just not really there. Food was way healthier back then. The message is just this term for woke. Oh, right on. Thank you for explaining that. Yeah, I totally get it.
Thick skin. And it's because of these distinct features that characters had a stronger sense of personality just by looking at them.
Do you have any hobbies?
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
But before we continue, let's take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Opera Browser. With Opera...
Yeah, shout out to Opera. Okay. Yeah, okay, right here, there's this little point.
Pin comment. And now, back to ugly actors and aesthetic personalities.
Do you have any hobbies?
In the opening of Once Upon a Time in the West, we meet 3 characters who don't survive the end of the scene. But they all have an interesting look. Al Mullock has long hair blowing across his face and vibrant blue eyes. Jack Elam has the long eyebrows and beard that goes down his neck. And then Woody Strode looks completely different, with a square jaw and a piercing look. From their faces alone, we can get a level of understanding to their character. It's hard to put into words, but we get a feeling that this guy is going to behave differently to this guy. And then compare them to the station manager. We can understand the dynamic just from the way they look. You can say this is down to great casting, and to some extent it is.
Man, kind of makes me want to watch some more old stuff. And, you know, I think this is also shot on film, which just has a different feel.
Ultimately, it's just these guys' faces that carry the entire 15-minute opening.
Oh, well, I suppose it'll be all right.
It's the same with the heads of the 5 families. And
we need to start a new movement. The ugly guy movement.
The Godfather.
We're bringing it back.
Sure, they all look like mob bosses, but they have small differences in their
or the
appearance.
not looks Max.
We're all grateful to Don Corleone for calling this meeting.
How they style their hair, the type of suit they wear, and how fat they are, all goes a long way to tell us about their character.
He had all
now I want a cigar.
the judges and politicians in his pocket.
And this isn't just limited to side characters. Even the leads in the past had a more interesting look. They didn't all look like supermodels.
You look like 40 miles of rough road.
This is people like Sissy Spacek, Leslie Nielsen, and Cher. They simultaneously look like a normal person, but also have a unique look.
Completely normal individual.
Kurt Russell in Escape from New York was big.
Man, I love this movie. The video game Metal Gear Solid was partly inspired by this.
But in shirtless scenes, his abs have little definition. Bruce Willis was handsome, but his receding hairline and modest muscles retain a sort of everyman look. And compare how Hugh Jackman looked in the first X-Men film in 2000 to Deadpool Wolverine. So what is the effect of this? What is the effect of seeing these regular looking people on screen? And how does seeing interesting faces work to make a movie better? Let's take a look at a few examples.
What have you done to it? What have you done to its eyes?
This is Mia Farrow in Rosemary's Baby.
I'm Rosemary Woodhouse.
As the film progresses, she cuts her hair shorter and begins to look paler and thinner. Visually, we understand the transformation the character is undergoing.
I'm not changing. I just want to go to Dr. Hill and get a second opinion.
Would this work if she was played by someone like Margot Robbie?
Gosh, the Barbie movie. The general message: have a perfect hairline, low body fat, 6-pack abs, a defined jaw. Yeah, just like your quintessential Chad. Muscles, be single at 35, and of course, be ultra successful. The message. I'm so glad I procrastinated watching this video on my feed so I could watch it now with y'all. Oh man, I'm glad to hear that. I think it's a pretty good video. I don't know, like I can't even really put it into words. Like I feel like I'm not even reacting to this properly because it makes sense. Escape from New York was dope. Yeah.
I don't think so. It's Mia Farrow's unique look that helps make the character feel like an actual person that could exist somewhere, which makes us empathize with her more.
Yeah, you can get like more into the story. And you know, of course the writing was better and it wasn't just full with, you know, like it wasn't. Movies nowadays just feel so inorganic because they're usually trying to just cram things in there. They're just trying to cram all these, I don't know, like demographics or whatever the hell it happens to be, and it just doesn't feel natural. It's like you can celebrate differences in people by making movies that maybe focus on that, but isn't like, hey, let's take this movie that's about this and then let's put this here, or how about we get creative and then we'll just turn this person into this person's sexuality is that and this person's gender is that. Ha ha ha! Let's remake the movie, but it's all women. And it's just like, man, that's not interesting or new, you know?
It's the same with John Travolta in Blowout. Shelley Duvall.
Like, you can make movies that are about women or have women characters, but if it should be like its own new original franchise, you know, like Kill Bill was a good movie. You know, that from Quentin Tarantino, it has a woman protagonist, and it's like that one, you know, that would made sense. But you're gonna remake something and then just try to copy and paste stuff.
And Jack Nicholson in The Shining, and Malcolm McDowell in A Clockwork Orange.
It was horrible.
In Star Wars, Luke and his family look like fairly ordinary people, whereas Grand Moff Tarkin and the Imperial officers have a much more austere look to them.
Fear. we got to start the ordinary movement. We're the ordinaryists. Ordinaryism is making a comeback.
We'll keep the local systems in line.
In the 20th century, the pool of actors to choose from seems to have been much more aesthetically varied than it is today. There was actors with big noses.
I got it. Go ahead.
Big foreheads.
He's gonna prove it to the whole world.
Heavy-set eyes.
Did you know that?
And receding hairlines.
With you and me together, that'd be tops.
We subconsciously infer things about people's personality based on their features, which in turn helps them create a richer character without much heavy lifting.
Mentally, you picture my dog.
In Taxi Driver, De Niro's buddies look like real cab drivers you could actually find in New York. This guy, completely bald on top, but with a
I'm going to say something unpopular. The general mentality is gay. This whole thing about analyzing anatomical details and the sex appeal of other men, that's unprecedented in history. Well, yeah, I mean, and I think it kind of betrays an increase in narcissistic tendencies, not just in women, but also men, you know. I don't know, it's just this odd thing, you know, and it's almost like society's selecting for that. But yeah, I can see what you're saying. It's just like being too obsessed and looking in the mirror and scrutinizing the hell out of everything. It's crazy. Like, it's like, man, somebody like that, like, have you not experienced any type of real type of hardship in your life to be so concerned with that? I guess, I mean, I don't know if it's about that, but it's just odd. Bad Boys Reimagined History. Oh my God. That's yeah, that's kind of what they were doing. John Voight is another example from that era.
Flow at the back. This guy with his scruffy beard and round glasses. And even De Niro himself with his 5 o'clock shadow and redness around his...
Man, is this, I think this is from the movie Taxi Driver? I can't remember. It's that was one of De Niro's older films.
Eyes. If he got into a cab and this
Man, I like De Niro and like Jean Reno. I have a, see, that's Jean Reno from Leon the Professional. But there's this movie called Ronin, and it had Robert De Niro and Jean Reno. I remember seeing that as a kid, and I have the DVD of that, and I watched that on my CRT every now and then. I like those old De Niro films.
As a driver, you wouldn't think twice.
Did I tell you to do that with the meter?
All of these actors look like they actually belong in the setting rather than just walking out of a dressing room.
Can I talk to you for a second?
And this is environmental immersion. In 1976, after Sylvester Stallone went 15 rounds in Rocky, his face was soaking wet, his hair sticking to his head, and he's covered in blood with his face fully contorted with bruises.
Oh God, okay, I want to be like kind of a kid, and I want to do like a Sylvester Stallone impression, but I know I...
But in 2015, after Michael B. Jordan fought in Creed, he's just got a...
He drew first blood!
Subtle sheen of sweat and a small bruise around one eye.
You know what, Leah, just so we can...
His face was soaking wet, his hair sticking to his head, and he's covered in blood with his face fully contorted with bruises. But in 2015, after Michael B. Jordan fought in Creed, he's just got a subtle sheen of sweat and a small bruise around one eye.
Stop! It's me!
At the end of Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's suit is ripped to hell.
Taxi Driver's fire,
bruised,
yes it
dirty,
is.
and sweaty face and this chaotic tear across his mask.
Mr. Osborn.
But for Tom Holland, he's got a couple of cuts that seem very intentionally placed, and his suit isn't ripped at all. His mask...
It's so weird. It looks very sterile. It's just, where's the heart? You know? Where's the soul? I don't know. There are some actors that are recent, but not that good looking. Bella Ramsey, Zendaya. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you're right about that, but I think overall something is just different. Something is just different.
Hasn't been torn open.
John Reno's
taken
cool.
off.
Hey, Blondie? Water?
After Clint Eastwood walked 70 miles in the desert, his face is completely scarred and burned. We can barely recognize him. But today, there aren't many examples of actors looking...
Hey, hold on a second. We know where this is from.
We can barely recognize it. But today, there aren't many...
This is from this scene right here.
I have no dowry. If anything, I have a negative dowry.
Examples of actors looking scarred like this. It seems like everyone has to look perfect all the time. It's as if somewhere along the way almost every actor has taken the substance and transformed into a kind of picture-perfect version of themselves. Not a single wrinkle, not a hair out of place, and completely
that's because, you know, I don't know, everyone's used to the Instagram filters or whatever. Like Pedro Pascal doesn't hold a candle to Leonardo DiCaprio. The scene from Creed, Michael B. Jordan got actually knocked out. Oh, wow.
Skin. The best we'll get is maybe a small smear of dirt or a tiny cut. And they look great, but when everyone looks perfect, things start to get a bit stale. And sure, this isn't every single actor working today. You can still find...
Okay, this is what Stax was talking about.
Start to get a bit stale. And sure, this isn't every single actor working today. You can still find distinct looking people, but it seems like it is the majority of them. In an article from 2021, Raquel S. Benedict likens our body to become an investment in which we have to maximize
the looks maxing. Okay, yeah, so you got to the looks maxing.
Good. We're reduced to a collection of features like perfect skin or a strong jawline. The body is no longer the vehicle through which we experience joy and pleasure, but a status symbol that needs to be constantly presentable to the world.
Put your greasy
That's because everybody walks around and it's like everybody imagines that there's somebody with the camera that's following them around all the time and like live streaming their lives. Like that's how people they behave as if there is a metaphorical camera around them all the time. At the gym and the grocery store, you know.
It's away, you preening slut.
For actors, this is taken to the extreme, especially for women. They can never age or show any imperfection. They need to be a bankable star, and a big part of this is looking good on
crap, I
camera.
forgot to... My bad.
Should always smile.
Let's take hairlines as an example. Sure, Andrew Garfield probably got a hair transplant because he thought it would improve his appearance, but also because it's better to have a smaller forehead as a leading man. And with modern technology, if you can fix this, why wouldn't you?
Yes, Sergeant.
This just wasn't the case in the past.
A smaller forehead for a leading man. That's it. I never heard of that. That's interesting.
A wider spectrum of hairlines and a bigger aesthetic variety.
I wouldn't touch one hair on his goddamn little head.
But today, this is becoming increasingly noticeable, and more people are commenting on it, and here are a few things they've said. I miss actors having normal teeth, and then a picture of Tom Cruise from The Outsiders.
Check this out, buddy.
It's so annoying and just plain boring that everyone has the same teeth, the same body. I miss people looking different and interested.
Restroom and make sure my hair is perfect.
Now, to be fair, this is the actor for Barbie, and Barbie does kind of represent this, I guess, ideal look.
I watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers last night, and it stood out to me that while Sutherland is hot, he's also clearly in his 40s. Like, if Hollywood wanted to make a movie of a 40-something A-lister playing a middle-aged health inspector, who would they cast? Ryan Reynolds? Chris Evans?
I got this.
We no longer have leading men who are good-looking and charismatic, but also don't look like they wake up at 5 AM to hit the gym. On Twitter, someone was talking about the 1974 movie Taking of Pelham 123. They said it's weirdly invigorating to watch a movie where every actor has an incredible face, and they all look normal, like no veneers inside.
This is supposed to be a democracy.
Old actors have more growth.
This is supposed to be a democracy. Like, didn't Myron got a hair transplant? I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I'm not sure about that. Possible. Vanity is plaguing society. Yeah, I would say so. The Substance was a low-key, decent, recent movie. I'll have to check that out. The Substance. And it's a cult of youth and physical perfection. Maybe the Lux Maxer guy was right. We always come back to what matters is the message. They're engaging in pure social engineering. Myron did, in fact, do that. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, kind of matches the Miami... I don't know. Haven't you guys been to Miami? It's an interesting place. It's a cool place, you know, but it's a different kind of, it's a very different place. Barbie was actually pretty good. I expected something way different. I thought it was a good movie too, because it has a lot of I always wanted to do a video analysis episode on that, on the Barbie movie. I really need to go back and do that.
recent current ones. We can't have a truly accurate cast for the Beatles because they just don't make weird, crusty looking young men actors like that anymore. I miss casting movies that weren't all A-listers or trying to be. Sometimes just having normal ass people in your movie makes it feel more realistic. To which someone replied, "Convinced this will be the downfall of the Odyssey." Which brings us on to perhaps a good label to put on this kind of perfect looking A-lister we see today. iPhone face. It's hard to define, but I think it's basically this kind of pristine look that most actors seem to
that's like what? Like a filter being applied.
It's why some people look out of place in period pieces, because they've got a modern haircut or their teeth are too white. They're striving for a kind of look that didn't really exist before the 21st century. And this speaks to a kind of aesthetic that many modern movies have. They're perfectly lit, the set perfectly designed, the actors in perfectly clean clothes. But this kind of perfection just makes it all look boring. It's the messiness of a normal kitchen, or the dirt kicked up from horses, the colour of the set, and the way it's lit. We're losing a sense of personality not only in how actors—
Hey, is that the negative dowry lady?
I have no dowry. If anything, I have a negative dowry.
look, but in how films in general look. Hello? Digital cinematography has given everything the same kind of Netflixy feel. Look, this isn't every movie, and it's not every actor. If you look for it, you can find interesting looking people in modern movies, but this whole change in how actors, and by extension movies in general, look, is a natural result of an industry that's afraid to take risks. Movies need to make money, so they minimize anything that could theoretically make the film less successful, but in the process, remove what makes it special. Both films and actors aren't ugly anymore. They're not dirty anymore or bruised anymore. No one looks normal, and everyone looks perfect. And this is a problem.
Oh crap. The hell? I was trying to go back. I was trying to read the comments. Hold on a second. Oh, I lost the freaking... Hold on one second. Let me see if I can pull this up again. Ah, here we go. God, really weird. Sorry, it's not pulling up. My internet is... There we go. Reload that. Just a second. Okay, oh my gosh. Sorry, it's still... Okay, finally, it's back. No, what the hell happened? They weren't even ugly, too. They were just normal people. Musicians used to be allowed to be ugly, too. I've recently read a comment saying actors don't sweat anymore, and I haven't been able to unsee that in movies now. Imagine you're reading a book and the author makes the same exact description of all their characters' appearances. In animation and art, we'd call this same face syndrome and bad character design. If you restrict the pool of actors based on looking like models, you also restrict the talent level. One thing that takes me out of movies, especially period movies, is how good everyone's teeth are. This is funny because I watched another video about how actors are getting ugly, and the example they used was Timothée Chalamet. By ugly, I just mean normal people. Okay, thanks, man. Surgery plus shallow casting standards plus less smoking. Acting standards have also gotten much lower. I feel this has been happening with almost every medium. It happened first with the music industry. You rarely have any big-name musician that doesn't look like a model. Even stuff like anime have way less characters with grit in their designs or flaws than before. With everything looks more pretty and cutesy. Oh boy, people literally had meltdown over Ma and Pa Kent and Superman just because they look like actual farmers. Yeah, I don't know. That was an interesting video. Just thought I'd share it for the heck of it. Man, I'm glad I'm okay with how I look. No looks maxing here, just rolling the monk lifestyle. Man, I know. Shout out to you. Yeah, I feel like that's the important thing. I mean, especially for the young folks, like, you know, some maintenance and improvement of your body is good, but you also have to accept just who you are, man, to some extent, and or just accept who you are, and you know, you can maximize what you can, but to go that deep into it and to be that obsessed with it just seems like something's wrong. It's up to normal people and their responsibility to not engage in maladaptive or self-damaging versions of enhancing this if they cannot compete. It is up to the individual. I would say you're correct there. Yeah, that's Dakota Johnson. Because the reverse is the deliberate uglification of men and women in video games for ideological purposes. Yeah, that's true, and that's actually one thing I thought about. Because that was something that annoyed me. And I did notice. So it's odd. It's like, can both of these things be happening at once at the same time? Either way, it's the arbitrariness that annoys people. Just come off as fake, contrived, and uninteresting. I think, to speak to Stack's point, like, maybe it's just more of this kind of sterility that seems to be there and just not natural or organic. Either way, it's the arbitrariness that annoys people. Just come off as fake, contrived, and uninteresting. Yeah, I think that's accurate. It's the Tinderization of the whole society. What matters is being affable. Yeah, you know, that's point two, Reaper. And those games, Dragon Age, Concord, aren't selling. Yeah, because people are just like, it doesn't make sense. Exactly. The goal isn't entertainment. It's some social engineering, HR inspired thing that nobody likes. iPhone face actually makes sense. Okay. Well, Legends, we made it to another week, man. I appreciate everybody who came on tonight. I think we had a pretty fun stream tonight. I had fun doing it, so if that means anything. Shout out to all of y'all. And let's go and play some music here. I got a little bit of work to do tomorrow, so that's why I'm going to call it before the 3-hour mark. Let's see. Where is... Oh, man. Man, I don't know. I want to listen to that Driving Off Alone song that Mr. Pitt likes. Heck yeah. Can't remember how to put the volume up. Oh. Anyways, yeah. Before you head off, watch the evil ending video. Okay, I'll pull that up. You know what? I'll pull that up just for you. Just for you. Let's see. Okay, let me click on that. Yeah, this Amelia thing was pretty funny. Okay, let's watch this. Pathways evil ending. Okay, so I guess the regular ending is that she was the villain in the original film. But let's see what this is. Charlie, a given name originally a diminutive of Charles, meaning a free person of or independent individual. Number 2 is a fool. Oh. Okay, we're at 7 seconds. There we go.
Despite the government's attempts at controlling Charlie, he kept using his human right to free speech and stood up for what he believed in.
Main character.
This was illegal. Although the police successfully arrested many natives for sharing memes on Twitter, there wasn't enough persecution, and so Charlie and his friend Amelia were able to speak. This was a major attack on democracy, which unfortunately led to the election of leaders who wanted to protect the indigenous and their culture. As a result,
okay, yeah, and they're still pretending that it's like made from the HR people. God.
of Charlie's actions, all the immigrants went home. And because of this, there was much less demand for housing, which naturally caused house prices to plummet. This unfortunately meant Charlie could afford to buy a house for himself, a house that could have gone to 10 Somali men. Not only that, but with the huge amounts of migrants gone home, there was much less competition in the jobs market, meaning Charlie and all his friends found jobs that could have gone to
Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are not happy with this video right now.
Migrants. Eventually, Charlie went on to marry Amelia. They had 4 children, all of which had white skin. This was clearly racist. Despite all this, Charlie was somehow happy.
This is the evil ending.
But at what cost? Millions of foreigners who came to the UK for free housing and social welfare now had to return home and work for a living.
The social welfare office is out of business. It's so funny. You know, it's like a social welfare office should technically, like, the concept of being out of business shouldn't even be a thing because it's not supposed to be a business. You know, it's supposed to be a government program, and it's okay if a government program has to stop. Like, if anything, that's a success story. It's like, yeah, the problem was solved. We don't need the program anymore.
Crime rates mysteriously plummeted, which meant the prisons were virtually empty. This saved hundreds of millions of pounds. Money that could have gone to providing migrant grooming gangs with food and shelter during their stay in prison. And it was all thanks to this right bunch of Charlies. Or should I say far right bunch of Charlies.
They got the cat. Okay, that was pretty funny. Oh my God. We all need an Amelia. In the end, Charlie committed the most dangerous sin of all, noticing. This feels like the Bethesda trying to write an evil faction. Sounds like the best possible ending. Keir Starmer's worst nightmare. The gangs actually being in prison is the most unrealistic part of this. If that's evil, then I'll become a villain. White man was unfortunately happily married the rest of his life. How racist. He was unfortunately able to buy a house. Did you guys see, there was something that like, it was kind of like an unpopular thing for Trump. Because Trump had said something about keeping the house prices high or something. Keeping the house prices high. Seemed like people were upset about that. USA Today. Like, I mean, I don't know which one of these rags I can look at without being like obviously biased. Yeah, this was it. There was a video. Oh, for the love of God. I don't want to drive housing prices down. I want to drive housing prices up for the people that own their homes, Trump said, and they can be assured that that's what's going to happen. It was like, I saw a clip of that online. I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if he actually wants that. Part of me thinks he sees the writing on the wall, man, and we might be heading for some tough economic times. I think most of us could have probably guessed that to begin with, but I don't know. It just seemed like a very odd thing. That was just something random. I like how the kids have purple hair too. Seems to be hereditary. It's almost as if ice is a good thing. That's blasphemy. Government programs aren't supposed to stop, but rather to grow and eat up more. Yeah, because the bigger they get, the more people they're helping. And don't you want to help people, Nuke? If you want the government programs to go away, that means you don't want to help. You want to be part of the solution, right? Right, Luke? But also check out the edited photo. Oh, dang it. I think I might have missed it. Oh, the edited photo of the gentleman who passed away here, Alexander. What was his name? Alexander Preety. Let's see. Edited photo before and after. Yeah, was that? Oh man, I might need to. If you have something, maybe you could throw it in the chat. You know, like I feel bad for the guy. I mean, it sounds like he was putting himself in a bad position. When when the bullet started firing, I think what happened was a series of unfortunate, like, yes, I mean, again, I'll say he was in a place, like, he probably could have prevented a lot of this. But what happened is I think the one of the ICE agents pulled his gun because he had his own legal to carry gun. And when they were spinning around, his gun fired on accident. And I think the rest of the ICE agents heard a gunshot and just unloaded into him because it was like, well, at that point, they just probably thought there was I don't know, it's a hair trigger moment. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can. There was actually a Reddit post I saved that was going over that. Here it is. Negligent discharge leads to unnecessary death.
I'm a normal person on Saturday afternoon, sitting with my wife and dogs.
I'm just going to forward a lot of this until he goes to like the slow frames.
Firearm in his right hand. He approaches the rear waistband.
Okay, so this guy in the gray, because this is the guy who disarms him. Now watch this.
And as he walks off, he produces a new firearm. And you'll note the firearm's configured similarly to the image.
See, look. So he has it right here. He has his arm outstretched, and I think he's going to turn. There's going to be a little bit of like rotating, force here. Centrifugal force, probably. I can't remember. Or maybe centripetal, one of them two, that led to this kind of the gun probably wanting to go out that way as his arm swings and him hitting the trigger on it. Now, this is this guy's analysis of the video. I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but it looks pretty convincing to me.
Shared, it's some sort of SIG frame, could be a P320, which has notorious negligent discharge issues to the point that people just meme on it all the time. And this officer's probably doing the right thing, you know. He's getting a gun out of the situation, and you'd hope it just end there and there'd be an arrest. And I want to draw your attention to how we lose positive control over this firearm. Right now you're not hearing the sound because QuickTime doesn't scrub with sound. But this firearm's kind of doing something funny. And when we hear it, it's going to be easier to tell what's going on. You'll notice here, the firearm's like totally broken. Its natural perpendicular angle to the street, and it's pointing down the street. And so now let's listen to it.
See, I don't want to play the rest of it because then it's gonna, it's gonna unload. Let me just let me see if he does another slow frame from a different angle. But okay, he's gonna play it again. So he seems to think that this hit. So the guy who passed away, his gun discharged, and then the rest of them thought they heard a gunshot and unloaded, See, so I don't, hold on one second, just because of YouTube, I don't want to play the rest of that.
Really want to draw your attention to this officer's right hand with the firearm he produced from the victim.
1 second, guys.
It swings way out.
I can't remember what this guy did with the video. See, it really does look like it went off, man. I mean, I posted in the content sharing. Okay, let me pull that up. My bad. My son refuses to date women like me. Stacks just shared a video. Okay, yeah, I see that. Yeah, the photo on the right is what mainstream media was showing, while the one on the left is the original. Yeah, this definitely looks like him in the original, but yeah, I mean, he looks like he has a slightly wider frame. I don't know if they just cropped into it. Like, his face seems less skinnier here. Were they really showing this on articles? Because yeah, that is very much different. It looks like his face is a bit wider and less skinny. Like, they could have just taken the folder and like the photo and just stretched it like a tiny bit. That is kind of odd there. I'm trying to see if the wrinkles, like if this was smoothed out. Like, it looks like there was definite, like, you see these spots here. They used the spot remover here. See that? These are gone on this photo. Like, yeah, they definitely touched this up. You see these beard things right here? Okay, you can see it a little bit. You can see a little bit. I mean, maybe they did the whole AI upscaling on that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it seems like there was some kind of an AI upscale. I want to see if he does a slow-mo.
And I think that swing is the impulse from a discharge from that gun. I think that gun is the victim's gun. Here, so we'll go.
Okay, he's gonna do a slow-mo now. All right, look at this. Okay, come on. I know it kind of looks like it jerked back a little bit. Let me see if he gets another angle on this. Okay, here's this angle right here.
I'm not sure this guy needed to get sprayed in the face. And I definitely don't think that a dozen guys needed to dogpile his ass just to take his illegally owned firearm away.
All right, so here's the guy in the gray taking the gun.
Accidentally discharge it in the...
See, okay, right there it actually looks like it was an accidental discharge.
Own firearm away.
Watch this. It looks like there's a jerk, like a little bit.
Accidentally discharge it in the...
See that? Yeah, see that? I don't know. Am I just seeing it? Like, is it just me, guys?
Own firearm away. Accidentally discharge it in the...
Yeah, it really looks like that's what happened. So it accidentally discharges, and then the rest of them just unload on him. Like, I think this guy has the right of it. It's just... Yeah, it looks like an AI upscale. Yeah. I don't know if it was intentional to make him look more attractive or if AI just knows that it should make everybody look more attractive. And they just ended up doing that. You know what I mean? So it's like that. That's possible. I don't know, man. I feel bad for the guy. I really do. But, you know, the problem with this thing is you have these ICE people doing whatever they're doing, and then you have all these protester people that are over there adding chaos to the situation. Like they're blowing whistles. You can hear it in the video. It's like there's all these loud noises. They're over there. They're doing whatever the hell they're doing. And then, you know, it was just built on top of each other and escalated. And then this guy accidentally discharging the victim's gun, you know, then the other ICE agents, like there's already all this chaos going around. And then this guy's gun accidentally discharges, you know, because the dude, that was an accident. My knee hit that because whatever the hell is what, and then all of a sudden there's like, oh dang, there's gunshots and then pow, 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 pow. Then, you know, that was that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just gonna go back. Let me just hit the song real quick. Yeah, man. I'm gonna try to get you. So, guys, remember, Effective Purpose should be posting our discussion tomorrow. Actually, said he had it going for the 1st. Hopefully, it gets posted tomorrow. That was the last I heard it was going to be. So, very possible he's gonna post it tomorrow, and I'll share that in the Discord. And then I'm also trying to get some. I know I say this every week, but I really do mean it. I am trying to get some actual YouTube videos posted, and it's not just this stream. So I know we need more actual videos. I appreciate everybody who came in tonight, man, and hung out. I think we had a pretty good time. I had a good time. Have a great night, gang. Great stream shot. Thanks for being here, Alwinizzi, man. I don't know. My bad, Alwinizzi. I'm gonna call you Al from now on. Thanks for coming in here, Al, man. I appreciate having you tonight. We had a fun time. Dan the man is a legend. Now the teeth are different. Yep. Klaus, good to see you. Orem. Luke Nielsen, of course. We had all the folks in tonight. Shout out to Raymond. Man, this song goes hard right here. We might listen to another one just for the heck of it while I'm over here. I want to listen to Better Get My Dowry. The original. Yeah, no, that's going to be good. Man, that's good stuff right there. Shout out Mr. Pitt. Shout out Reaper Put. Thank you for everything, Shot. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot. Glad everybody enjoyed the show tonight. Definitely had a good time. Saturday is for the boys. It absolutely is, man. It absolutely is. The Saturday stream is the one thing I try to make sure to keep doing, but I want to put out more videos just because we need to do that. And by we, I mean I need to do that. I might be on some more interview videos with some folks. No, that was sick. That was sick. All right, now let's Better Get My Dowry. Oh, wait. Was it the radio edit? I like the rap version. Yeah, the remix. This one. That one's clean. That's what I'm talking about. Better Get My Dowry is a good one to play. I like this verse. This is the remix. Have a good and relaxing evening, everybody. Just stay gaming. Exactly.
You gotta stay gaming, bro.
That's what you gotta do. Good evening, man. Good evening, brother. W Stream, thank you, Mr. Pittman. Shout out to you. Appreciate the folks coming in. We had a fun one today, so we'll be back at it next week. I gotta do a little bit of work tomorrow, but I got a new plan. To be able to efficiently record things on my lunch break. Let's just put it that way. So there's a kind of a new style of video I've been thinking about doing that's a little easier for me to do, but I think you guys will enjoy it. So I hope I can get you at least one, maybe two of those this week. Man, this is it. Man. I need to actually make a SoundCloud account and follow this. Guys, if you are looking for the link to the music, it's right here. Thank you, Mr. Pitt, for making that. All right. All right, legends. We'll see y'all next time, man. Salute to y'all. Have a